Welcome to this course about the fundamentals of cloud computing with Azure Management. You may be wondering how to start or advance your career as a technology professional in a landscape that's evolving at such a rapid pace. Well, you need to be able to demonstrate foundational knowledge of cloud concepts in general, and Microsoft Azure in particular to achieve this goal. This course sets you up to succeed as a technology professional by providing a solid foundation in Azure services and management tools. You will cover topics such as cloud computing essentials with Azure Management, core Azure services, and Azure management and governance. This course is designed and built by subject matter and industry experts, so you can rest assured that this program provides you with the practical skills and knowledge demanded by employers, preparing you effectively for your future career. Let's unpack this in more detail. Your learning journey starts by covering what cloud computing entails, its benefits, and the different cloud computing types. You'll gain insights into real-world applications that leverage the cloud. The goal here is to equip you to become familiar with the basic principles of cloud computing, essential cloud security measures, and the various cloud models. The next week will enlighten you about the key advantages of cloud computing through Azure, high availability options in Azure, and integrating Azure services. Essentially, you will discover fundamental and advanced features of core Azure services and how to use those services to design and implement solutions for various use cases. You'll also evaluate integration scenarios to determine the most effective combination of Azure services for specific applications. Finally, you'll learn about utilizing Azure Resource Manager, or ARM templates, Azure Policy, and Azure Monitor. You will engage in hands-on projects, applying your knowledge to optimize resources using Azure Resource Manager, or ARM templates, to automate and scale your resource deployment. You'll be able to implement organizational standards using Azure Policy effectively, as well as use Azure Monitor for proactive monitoring, troubleshooting, and optimizing Azure resources. You'll conclude with a course project and a final assessment. By completing this learning journey, you'll develop a better understanding of the current technological landscape with preparation to navigate it by utilizing the fundamentals of cloud computing and Microsoft Azure. This will give you a firm foundation, or for a seasoned professional, solidify essential cloud computing principles with an opportunity to remain on top of technological standards. The knowledge you gain from the program prepares you for the AZ900 Microsoft Azure Fundamentals Certification exam, serving as a valuable step forward in your career. This will allow you to satisfy your curiosity about the digital world and at the same time advance a successful career in technology. Good luck as you start this exciting learning journey.
Generative AI stands at the forefront of a transformative era, reshaping our interaction with data and redefining the boundaries of creativity across diverse sectors. This innovative tool utilizes sophisticated statistical techniques to generate content across text, images, and code, empowering individuals and industries with remarkable capabilities. In this video, you'll gain an understanding of the multifaceted landscape of generative AI, exploring its vast capabilities, industry implications, and the career opportunities it presents. Before we get into more detail, let's answer the question, what is generative AI? Examples of these models are generative adversarial networks, or GANs, and transformer models. With these models, generative AI can create outputs that closely mimic human-made content. Using generative AI as an assistant can make a positive contribution across multiple industries. For example, imagine a trendy clothing store using generative AI to design unique patterns and styles based on customer preferences. With GANs, the AI could generate lifelike images of clothing designs, enabling the store to offer personalized options to each customer. This application not only enhances the shopping experience, but also streamlines the design process, illustrating how generative AI is reshaping industries through its creative capabilities. Now that you're up to speed on what generative AI is, let's explore some of its capabilities across different functions. Firstly, there's text generation, where generative AI models like Generative Pre-trained Transformer, or GPT, can compose essays, generate creative writing, automate customer support, and more. Imagine how generative AI can bring the store collection to life for shoppers, effortlessly crafting engaging product descriptions, captivating social media posts, and personalized customer communication that mimics the tone and style of human interaction. Next, there's image creation. Generative AI can transform textual descriptions into stunning visual representations. For the retail store, this means converting text into realistic images of new apparel designs, from elegant evening gowns to casual streetwear, providing the store's creative team with endless inspiration and flexibility in bringing their vision to life. This capability is revolutionizing fields such as graphic design, video game development, film production, and marketing and branding, where custom visuals can be created quickly and at scale. With audio production, the store's marketing and branding department uses generative AI's audio ability to synthesize speech, compose music, and create sound effects. Generative AI produces captivating audiovisual content for advertising campaigns, captivating audiences and enhancing brand visibility. In addition to its applications in creative fields like fashion, generative AI also showcases its capability in code generation. Imagine the retail store leveraging generative AI to optimize its online presence. AI would aid the store's programmers by suggesting improvements, completing lines of code, or even creating entire programs. This would not only streamline website development, but also enhance user experience, ensuring seamless navigation and captivating visuals for online shoppers. Finally, there is data synthesis. In the fashion world, staying ahead of the curve is crucial, and generative AI aids the store in achieving just that. It utilizes extensive data sets on fashion trends, customer preferences, and style influencers. The store can conduct market research and analyze customer behavior ethically and responsibly by generating synthetic data sets that maintain statistical properties without compromising individual privacy. This application is crucial for training more AI models where access to real data might be restricted or unethical. So, what are the industry implications of this emerging technology? The deployment of generative AI across various industries indicates a major shift in operational dynamics. In healthcare, AI-generated models can predict patient outcomes, personalize treatment plans, and automate administrative tasks. In finance, AI can manage risk assessment, automate trading, and personalize banking services. The creative industry is seeing an explosion of innovation and inspiration as generative AI-aided tools are contributing hugely to the fields of art, music, and literature, pushing the boundaries of traditional creativity. As AI evolves, its impact on the workforce and industry standards will be significant. The demand for AI knowledge is growing, and learning to work with AI will be crucial for career advancement in all fields. Jobs that traditionally didn't involve technology will start using AI tools more often. This shift will require professionals in most fields to develop new skills and undergo additional training to effectively integrate generative AI into their work. As a result, educational programs and workshops focusing on generative AI and its applications are becoming increasingly important, offering valuable resources for those looking to stay relevant and excel in their careers. Both businesses and individuals need to understand and adapt to generative AI's capabilities to fully harness its potential. Generative AI is not just a tool for creating and automating, it is a catalyst for innovation and transformation across all areas. In this video, you gained an understanding of the capabilities of generative AI and its implications for various industries. You also explored some of the career opportunities it will create. As we continue to explore and expand these technologies' capabilities, the opportunities for advancement and creativity are limitless. Welcome to the age of generative AI, where everyone has the chance to redefine the boundaries of what is possible. Generative AI is transforming businesses today by gathering information and creating all kinds of content, changing how businesses operate. Let's imagine a renowned restaurant called Chef's Table. As Chef Andre strives to innovate and delight his patrons with new dishes, he turns to generative AI to enhance his culinary creations. The technology behind this ability involves using models trained on huge sets of data to do tasks such as text generation, image creation, and even code synthesis. In Chef Andre's kitchen, generative AI acts as his trusty sous chef, assisting him in developing innovative recipes, crafting visually stunning presentations, and even optimizing kitchen workflows. Just like Chef Andre relies on his sous chef to complement his skills and creativity, generative AI complements businesses by providing them with new insights, ideas, and efficiencies. In this video, you'll explore the technical foundations and potential applications of generative AI in businesses like Chef's Table. You'll also assess its limitations and examine the ethical considerations that arise when using it. First, let's gain some insight into the technical foundations of generative AI. It operates primarily through two types of models: generative adversarial networks or GANs and transformer-based models. GANs involve two neural networks, the generator and the discriminator, working in tandem to produce highly realistic outputs. These two components are known as the generator and the discriminator. Imagine the generator as a chef preparing a new dish and the discriminator as a food critic tasting it. The chef, the generator, creates new dishes, while the food critic, the discriminator, evaluates them. If the critic cannot distinguish between the chef's creations and dishes from renowned restaurants, then the chef has succeeded. This collaborative process results in the creation of highly realistic and refined outputs. Transformers used by models like Generative Pre-trained Transformer or GPT and bidirectional encoder representations from transformers or BERT use attention mechanisms to create text that is contextually relevant and stylistically coherent. Attention mechanisms play a crucial role in the model's functionality. These mechanisms enable the model to focus selectively on various parts of the input data, much like a chef carefully chooses the best ingredients for a dish. This selective focus allows the model to highlight important information and maintain a clear grasp of the context. Imagine a chef who not only selects fresh ingredients, but also keeps the recipe and cooking techniques in mind to craft a delicious and well-balanced meal. Similarly, attention mechanisms ensure that the text generated by the model is coherent and contextually appropriate rather than a random assortment of words. These technologies rely on deep learning, needing a lot of computer power and data to train them. How well a generative AI model works depends on the quality and variety of its training data, which affects its ability to generalize new information without upholding biases. So you've learned about the technical foundations of generative AI, but what are its practical applications in various business functions? In marketing and customer engagement, generative AI can craft personalized content at scale, from email marketing campaigns to dynamic web content. Think of this as a chef preparing a personalized menu for each diner based on their preferences, creating unique and delightful dining experiences. AI models can enhance engagement and conversion rates by analyzing existing customer data and tailor messages that resonate on an individual level. Additionally, generative AI assists in optimizing operational efficiencies and logistics. For instance, AI can forecast demand trends, simulate supply chain scenarios, and recommend adjustments. This is like a chef estimating the number of diners, planning the menu, and ordering ingredients to minimize waste and make customers happy. This predictive capability enables Chef's Table to make informed decisions, reduce costs, and improve service delivery. In the area of human resources, AI-driven analysis of job descriptions and applicant data helps streamline the recruitment process. By generating and evaluating diverse job descriptions, AI can attract a wide range of candidates, potentially reducing biases often found in manual processes. Additionally, generative AI can simulate training scenarios, providing personalized learning experiences for employees. Think of this as a chef conducting cooking classes tailored to the skill levels and learning styles of each student, ensuring everyone learns effectively. Another application of generative AI is document management and technical writing. It can analyze extensive datasets of documents to learn and replicate the necessary formatting, style, and technical language specific to different business sectors. For example, AI models trained on legal documents can help to draft contracts that comply with current laws and regulations. Furthermore, models trained on medical texts can help in preparing accurate clinical trial reports. The technology's ability to understand and generate technical content is like Chef André mastering the preparation of complex dishes, ensuring consistency and high standards without extensive manual effort. One of the standout features of generative AI is its capacity to mimic specific writing styles. This capability is particularly useful in marketing and customer communications, where maintaining a consistent brand voice is crucial. By training on a company's historical communication data, AI can generate content that aligns with the brand's tone, style, and audience engagement strategies. Additionally, it can adapt to different styles as needed, much like a versatile chef who can cook various cuisines to cater to diverse tastes and cultural preferences. Finally, the ability of generative AI to produce coherent and contextually relevant text has wide-ranging application in business. For instance, it can generate product descriptions, marketing copy, or news articles with little to no human input, significantly speeding up the content creation process. Moreover, in customer service, AI-driven chatbots can handle inquiries and provide responses in real time, improving customer experiences and operational efficiency. These applications demonstrate the potential of generative AI to take over repetitive and time-consuming tasks, enabling employees to focus on more strategic activities, much like a chef relying on a well-trained kitchen staff to handle routine tasks while focusing on creating innovative dishes. Despite its capabilities, generative AI is not without limitations and may raise some ethical concerns. The quality of output can vary significantly depending on the model's training. Inaccuracies can emerge, especially when the AI encounters data or requests outside its training scope. Moreover, there's the potential for AI to reinforce or amplify biases present in the training data, leading to unfair outcomes or ethical dilemmas. This is similar to a chef needing to ensure their ingredients are fresh and free from contaminants, as any issue can affect the final dish. Ethical concerns that must be addressed include issues such as data privacy, intellectual property, and the potential for misuse. Therefore, businesses must establish clear guidelines and ethical frameworks to govern AI use, ensuring that AI-generated outputs align with legal and moral standards. Think of it as a chef adhering to food safety regulations and ethical sourcing practices to ensure every dish is not only delicious but also responsibly made. In this video, you learned how generative AI offers substantial benefits across various business functions, enhancing productivity, decision-making, and customer engagement. However, to leverage this technology effectively, businesses must understand its technical foundations, potential applications, and limitations. You also gained insight into how responsible use of generative AI, guided by strong ethical principles, is essential to harness its full potential while reducing associated risks. As businesses continue to integrate AI into their operations, the focus must remain on creating value responsibly, ensuring that AI solutions are deployed in a manner that is both effective and ethical. Like a master chef, businesses must blend innovation with responsibility to create a successful and sustainable future. Picture a future where machines not only grasp our language, but also craft it with remarkable finesse, where creativity knows no bounds as artificial minds effortlessly generate images and ideas. This isn't the stuff of sci-fi dreams. It's the emergence of generative AI, a tool that will complement and benefit us in both our work and our everyday lives. To gain a better understanding of generative AI, it is crucial to dive into its foundational technologies such as machine learning models and their architectural nuances. Let's get started by exploring the distinguishing features of generative AI. Unlike traditional AI, which typically focuses on analysis and classification, generative AI is proactive in creating new content. This shift from passive analysis to active creation is transformative, especially in handling complex tasks such as natural language processing or NLP and synthetic image generation. NLP enables machines to read, understand, and generate human language, while synthetic image generation involves creating fake images using computer programs and algorithms. It's like a digital artist creating a convincing picture of a landscape they've never seen before. The introduction of transformers, a type of model architecture that relies on mechanisms called attention and self-attention, has revolutionized NLP. Models like Google's bidirectional encoder representations from transformers, or BERT, and OpenAI's GPT series use these transformers. They learn the relationships between words in a text, but not in the usual order from start to end. Instead, they can understand different parts of the text at the same time. It's like reading a mystery novel and being able to pick up on clues scattered throughout the book all at once. This way of learning allows for more things to be processed at the same time, making the training quicker and more efficient. So those are some of the distinguishing features, but what are the technical foundations of generative AI? It primarily operates through two types of machine learning, supervised and unsupervised. In supervised learning, models are trained on labeled datasets, allowing them to learn a function that can map input data to desired outputs. For example, a model might be trained to generate text summaries by learning from a dataset of articles paired with their respective summaries. Unsupervised learning, on the other hand, involves training models on data without explicit labels. Here, the aim is for the models to discover inherent patterns and relationships in the data. This approach is particularly beneficial for generative AI, as it allows the model to learn to create content that is not bound by predefined labels, enabling more innovative and adaptive applications. Next, let's take a closer look at some of the core technologies behind generative AI. At the heart of its capabilities are neural networks, particularly generative adversarial networks or GANs, and variational autoencoders or VAEs. Variational autoencoders or VAEs encode input data into a compressed representation and then decode it back to reconstruct the input. The process involves optimizing the parameters of the encoder and decoder so that the output closely matches the input, allowing the model to generate new data samples from learned representations. Language models are constantly evolving, so it's important to keep up to date with these advancements. Language models such as GPT-3 and BERT demonstrate significant advancements in generative AI. These models use transformer architectures, which rely on self-attention mechanisms to process sequences of data, like sentences, in ways that consider the context provided by other parts of the sequence. This is crucial for generating coherent and contextually appropriate text. Word2Vec, another critical technology, involves vectorizing words into a geometric space where words with similar meanings are located close to each other. This enables more nuanced understanding and generation of text based on semantic similarities rather than just syntactic rules. Generative AI has many business applications and can revolutionize several key areas. Let's explore some in more detail. Firstly, there's content generation. GPT models excel in generating written content by leveraging transformer architecture, which allows them to understand context and generate coherent and contextually appropriate text. These models are pre-trained on a wide variety of internet text and fine-tuned for specific applications, enabling them to create high-quality articles, blogs, and other written materials. Next is personalization. The process starts with collecting user data from sources like websites, apps, and social media. Integrated data pipelines using tools like Apache Kafka or Google Cloud Dataflow consolidate this data in real time. Real-time analytics platforms such as Apache Spark Streaming or AWS Kinesis process the data to extract insights, which feed into a personalization engine that generates tailored recommendations, content, and communications. These personalized interactions are delivered using APIs integrated with various platforms. To ensure low-latency responses, edge computing technologies like AWS Greengrass or Azure IoT Edge process data closer to the user. Additionally, there's automation. AI models trained on large datasets and using advanced algorithms automate these processes, improving efficiency and reducing costs. The technical backbone includes robotic process automation or RPA for executing repetitive tasks, AI-powered software tools for intelligent decision-making, and cloud services that provide the necessary scalability and support continuous learning and adaptation of the models. This infrastructure ensures that AI systems remain up-to-date and can handle increasing volumes of work effectively. And finally, innovation. Generative AI fosters innovation by simulating and modeling various scenarios to predict outcomes, aiding businesses in developing new products and services with higher success rates. This involves using advanced AI models for predictive analytics, scenario planning, and risk assessment, including techniques like regression analysis, time series forecasting, Monte Carlo simulations, Bayesian networks, and stress testing. Large data sets from diverse sources are processed using tools like Apache Hadoop and Apache Spark. Simulation tools such as digital twins and optimization algorithms are used to predict performance and find optimal solutions. From what you have learned in this video, it is clear that generative AI is a powerful tool that, when leveraged responsibly, can provide significant advantages to businesses by automating tasks, personalizing customer experiences, and driving innovation. You've gained an understanding of how generative AI continues to evolve, providing useful business applications. As the technology continues to evolve, it will likely become an even more integral part of the digital business landscape. It's no secret that generative AI has significantly transformed various job functions in the workplace. From automating routine tasks to enhancing creative processes, these systems use vast amounts of data to create new content, make predictions, and even make decisions. Despite its revolutionary potential, generative AI is not without its pitfalls and shortcomings, which raise several risks, challenges, and ethical considerations that must be carefully managed. In this video, you will gain further insight into these challenges and limitations. But first, let's explore how generative AI can be integrated into different job functions. In many sectors, generative AI tools are employed to streamline operations and enhance productivity. For example, in roles such as content creation, AI can produce drafts, suggest edits, and generate creative ideas, which allows human workers to focus on more strategic aspects of their work. Similarly, in software development, AI can write code, debug, and even test software, streamlining the development process and reducing time to market. A significant shortcoming of generative AI was highlighted by the use of OpenAI's GPT-3 in generating medical advice. In one instance, GPT-3 was used to provide mental health support, and it suggested to a simulated user experiencing distress to commit self-harm. This incident underscored the danger of relying on AI for sensitive tasks without robust safeguards. The model generated harmful advice because it lacked the nuanced understanding and ethical judgment required in mental health care, relying instead on patterns learned from its training data. This example demonstrates the potential risks and severe consequences of deploying AI without adequate human oversight and ethical considerations. These capabilities not only optimize efficiency, but also offer significant cost savings and scalability for growing businesses. However, the integration of AI into these roles is not always seamless. The reliance on AI can lead to job displacement, as roles traditionally filled by humans become automated. Furthermore, the quality of AI-generated outputs can be inconsistent. While AI excels in generating structured content, it struggles with tasks requiring deep understanding or emotional intelligence, often producing outputs that are awkward or contextually inappropriate. Earlier, you learned that businesses need to adopt ethical considerations given the potential for bias in AI-generated content. Since AI models learn from data, they inherently acquire the biases found in their training datasets. This can result in discriminatory practices, such as favoring one demographic group over another, when AI is used in HR for resume screening or job recommendations. Maintaining the privacy of personal data is a primary objective for businesses. When using generative AI systems to interact with personal data, care must be taken to ensure confidentiality and user privacy. These systems can inadvertently expose sensitive information or even be used to generate deepfakes, contributing to misinformation and potentially harming individuals' reputations. Next, let's examine some of the challenges of reliability and accountability when using generative AI. AI systems are notorious for their black box nature, meaning the processes they use to reach conclusions are not always clear. This lack of transparency can lead to reliability issues where businesses find it challenging to understand or predict the AI's behavior. This is particularly problematic in high-stakes environments like healthcare or finance, where unexpected AI decisions can have serious consequences. Accountability is another challenge. When errors occur, it's difficult to determine responsibility between the AI developers, the users, and the AI itself. This complicates legal and regulatory frameworks, which are often ill-equipped to handle the novel implications of AI technology. Despite their advanced capabilities, generative AI systems often lack common sense reasoning, a basic human ability to make practical judgments about everyday situations. AI can generate plausible-sounding responses or content that, upon closer examination, is nonsensical or impractical. This limitation is due to the AI's reliance on pattern recognition instead of understanding underlying principles or contexts. Implementing generative AI in a workplace context involves various hurdles. These include the technical challenge of integrating AI with existing IT systems, the need for significant investment in technology and training, and the ongoing requirement to update and maintain AI systems to adapt to new data or changing conditions. Additionally, if an organization is resistant to change and its staff are doubtful about AI, this can also make it harder to implement effectively. To reduce potential harm and ensure ethical AI deployment, it is crucial to adhere to guidelines like those set by major technology companies, including Microsoft. These guidelines emphasize fairness, reliability, privacy, inclusiveness, accountability, and transparency. Organizations must commit to rigorous testing and auditing of AI systems to identify and correct biases, protect data privacy, and ensure that AI systems perform as intended without infringing on ethical norms. In this video, you learned that while generative AI presents remarkable opportunities for transforming workplace operations and enhancing productivity, its implementation must be approached with a nuanced understanding of its limitations and potential risks. By prioritizing ethical considerations and responsible use, organizations can harness the benefits of generative AI while mitigating its shortcomings. This balanced approach is essential for realizing the full potential of AI technologies in a manner that respects human values and social standards.
Cloud computing has transformed the tech industry by completely changing how businesses access, interact with, and use data and applications. For example, imagine a business experiencing a sudden surge in website traffic due to a new marketing campaign. With cloud computing, this business could simply scale up its cloud server capacity to accommodate this traffic, ensuring its website remains responsive without costly investments in physical infrastructure. This video will explore the concept of cloud computing and focus on Microsoft Azure, one of the leading cloud platforms available. You will also navigate the historical context and practical applications of cloud computing. Let's begin by understanding the basic concept behind cloud computing. Imagine having a vast pool of computing resources, like storage space, processing power, and software, readily available at your fingertips. This is the essence of cloud computing. You don't need to own or maintain physical hardware. Instead, you only access these resources over the internet and pay for what you use. Enter Microsoft Azure. This dynamic platform breathes life into cloud computing, providing a wealth of services like virtual machines, storage solutions, databases, and a diverse library of pre-built applications. It serves as a digital marketplace, enabling swift discovery, deployment, and management of all necessary tools for crafting your cloud-based applications. Cloud computing has three distinct service models, each with its own set of unique features and benefits. First up is Infrastructure as a Service, or IaaS. IaaS is like renting the building blocks of a computer, such as virtual machines, storage, and networking resources. This model offers you complete control over these resources, just like you would with your physical hardware, providing a sense of familiarity and convenience. Next is Platform as a Service, or PaaS. PaaS is a pre-built development environment in the cloud. With PaaS, the beauty lies in its simplicity. You're freed from the burden of managing the underlying infrastructure, allowing you to focus solely on developing and deploying your applications. This streamlined approach empowers you to create without distractions, enhancing your productivity and efficiency in application development. Last is Software as a Service, or SaaS. This model is designed with you in mind, making it the most user-friendly option. It grants you direct access to various software applications over the internet, such as webmail or online photo editing tools. This accessibility fosters a sense of connection, as you can use these applications from anywhere with an internet connection, making your life easier and more convenient. Cloud computing also offers several benefits, including virtualization, which allows you to run multiple computers on a single physical machine. Microsoft Azure uses cutting-edge technologies like Hyper-V to create virtual machines, allowing you to run your applications on these virtual machines instead of physical hardware, translating to increased efficiency and savings. Another benefit of cloud computing is elasticity. The cloud service Azure allows you to quickly scale your resources up or down based on your needs. Need more storage space for a sudden surge in website traffic? No problem. Simply scale up your storage capacity in minutes. Similarly, if your workload decreases, you can scale down your resources and pay only for what you use. Last is on-demand self-service. Gone are the days waiting for IT to provide resources. Azure empowers you with a user-friendly self-service portal where you can independently create, manage, and monitor your cloud resources without relying on IT personnel. You might be curious as to how cloud computing came to be. It is the result of decades of innovation. Starting as far back as the 1960s, when the concept of time sharing emerged, allowing multiple users to access a single computer system. Over time, this laid the foundation for virtualization, which, as you discovered earlier, is a cornerstone of cloud computing. Then, in the 1970s, the development of the internet fostered the idea of remote access and distributed computing, paving the way for the delivery of resources over a network. In the 90s, virtualization technologies became more sophisticated, enabling the creation of multiple virtual machines on a single physical server. Then, throughout the 2000s, the rise of web-based applications and on-demand services like email and file sharing demonstrated the potential of cloud computing for broader adoption. And more recently, cloud computing platforms like Microsoft Azure gained widespread popularity, offering a comprehensive suite of cloud services for businesses and individuals. As cloud computing has gained in popularity, security has become critically important. Microsoft Azure prioritizes security throughout its platform, offering a comprehensive set of features and services to safeguard your data and applications. These include encryption at rest and in transit, identity and access management, and threat detection with response capabilities. Microsoft Azure offers you the ability to optimize your costs by only paying for the resources you use. You can also leverage various tools that are available within the Azure portal to gain insights into your cloud spending and optimize your costs. This pay-as-you-go model ensures cost efficiency and avoids upfront infrastructure investments. This video has provided you with a solid foundation in the fundamentals of cloud computing and has revealed the vast potential of Microsoft Azure. Now you have the opportunity to explore Azure's extensive range of services more deeply, discovering how they can be utilized to address real-world challenges and propel your journey into the cloud. In a world where businesses require agility and efficiency, cloud computing's transformative power shines. Imagine healthcare professionals accessing patient records instantly, e-commerce sites seamlessly handling surges in traffic, and students, just like you, learning from anywhere, anytime. In this video, you will explore how cloud technology is revolutionizing healthcare, education, finance, media, and manufacturing industries. You'll uncover its benefits from enhanced productivity to global collaboration and discover the importance of security. Let's start with the fast-paced world of healthcare, where every second counts. By streamlining operations, cloud computing enables secure storage and instant access to electronic health records and medical imaging data. This empowers medical professionals to make faster diagnoses and treatment plans with instant access to complete patient information. It also allows colleagues to collaborate seamlessly in different locations, promoting informed decision-making, and improves patient care through real-time data analysis and better communication channels. Since the Internet's inception, e-commerce has become a global industry. Imagine smoothly managing a surge in online orders during a major sale without website crashes. Cloud computing enables this for e-commerce businesses by providing a scalable infrastructure. They can adaptively adjust resources up or down to handle fluctuating customer traffic, ensuring smooth online shopping experiences. It also reduces upfront costs by paying only for their resources, eliminating the need for expensive hardware upgrades, and allows focus on innovation by dictating resources to developing new products and marketing strategies instead of managing IT infrastructure. Cloud computing is also redefining education by fostering flexible learning environments and collaboration opportunities. Schools and universities are leveraging cloud-based learning management systems, or LMS, to provide students with 24/7 access to course materials, assignments, and discussions from anywhere with an internet connection. It also facilitates interactive learning through online collaboration tools and real-time feedback mechanisms, and expands educational reach by offering remote learning opportunities and connecting students globally. In the dynamic world of finance, cloud computing is driving innovation and enhancing customer experiences. Financial institutions are using cloud-based platforms to gain valuable insights from vast amounts of data, enabling informed investment decisions and risk management strategies. It also offers personalized financial products tailored to individual needs and preferences, and enhances security measures through robust data encryption and access controls, ensuring customer information remains protected. While the transformative power of cloud computing is evident in the financial sector, its impact has extended far beyond, revolutionizing industries like media, entertainment, and manufacturing. For example, in media and entertainment, vast content libraries can be efficiently managed and accessed using cloud storage, eliminating reliance on physical infrastructure. Creative teams are also working seamlessly across geographical boundaries, promoting innovation and accelerating production through real-time communication and shared resources. And cloud-based streaming services are delivering high-quality content to global audiences, ensuring scalability and flexibility to meet growing demand. In manufacturing, cloud platforms provide real-time insights into production processes, allowing manufacturers to monitor equipment performance and identify potential issues before they cause downtime. Cloud solutions can also analyze data from various sensors to predict equipment failures, enabling proactive maintenance and preventing costly disruptions. And cloud-based solutions can offer visibility into the entire supply chain, enabling manufacturers to optimize inventory levels, respond swiftly to disruptions, and improve overall operational efficiency. Before initiating cloud migration, businesses should weigh its benefits and risks. Achieving a balance can ensure effective implementation while mitigating against any potential challenges. For example, businesses should evaluate cloud service providers and their offerings to help mitigate the risk of vendor lock-in, ensuring flexibility and avoiding situations where switching providers becomes overly complex or expensive. Security should also be considered. By implementing robust measures like strong encryption protocols and comprehensive access controls, organizations can safeguard data and mitigate cybersecurity threats. It is also vital to stay proactive by keeping informed about evolving cyber threats and implementing ongoing security assessments. When cloud computing is implemented correctly, organizations can benefit from streamlined processes and seamless collaboration, improving efficiency and productivity across the organization. Cloud solutions also offer unparalleled flexibility, allowing organizations to scale resources up or down based on demand, adapt to changing market conditions, and respond quickly to evolving business needs. Cloud-based services also enable organizations to optimize resource allocation, minimize upfront investments in hardware and infrastructure, and reduce operational costs through pay-as-you-go pricing models. And lastly, cloud computing provides a fertile ground for innovation, enabling organizations to experiment with new ideas, develop cutting-edge solutions, and explore new business opportunities. Cloud computing transcends mere trendiness. It's a dynamic force that is reshaping industries. Through a deliberate and balanced strategy, organizations can leverage its potential to excel in today's digital environment. Within business, there are some common terms that are often referred to. These are words such as cost, scalability, and flexibility, which are important. You may wonder how this fits into cloud computing. In this video, you'll dive into the technical aspects of cloud computing's infrastructure benefits, with a focus on cost, scalability, and flexibility. You'll discover how cloud computing empowers you to optimize resources, leverage sophisticated pay-as-you-go models to achieve significant cost reductions and more control. Thereafter, you'll explore the concept of scalability and how organizations use cloud computing to adapt their infrastructure seamlessly. Finally, you'll learn about the power of flexibility, allowing your workforce to access data and applications from anywhere. Traditional on-premises IT infrastructure can be a significant cost burden. Imagine a data center filled with bulky servers constantly operating. They require substantial upfront investment for purchase and installation and demand ongoing maintenance, software updates, and electricity. As your business grows, you may need more hardware, leading to inefficient use of resources and wasted spending. Cloud computing eliminates these pain points by leveraging economies of scale and here's how. With regard to resource virtualization, cloud service providers, or CSPs, create multiple virtual servers on a single physical server. This provides access to a vast pool of on-demand computing resources, including virtual central processing units, or CPUs for short, memory, and storage. Then there's multi-tenancy, whereby the cloud infrastructure shares the underlying physical infrastructure among multiple users. This ensures that each user has a secure and isolated environment with dedicated resources. And the pay-per-use model for cloud services eliminates the risk of overspending on unused resources and allows adjustments to be made based on actual needs. Cloud computing empowers you to further optimize costs through various strategies, such as right-sizing instances, where you select the right instance type for your workload to avoid paying for more resources than what's needed. Auto-scaling automatically scales resources up during peak periods and down during off-peak hours. And the spot instances strategy utilizes significantly cheaper unused computing resources. With a grasp on cost, let's move on to scalability. Business needs are dynamic. Imagine a graph where demand fluctuates, so it's sometimes high and sometimes low. During a product launch or a busy sales season, you might need more processing power and storage. On the other hand, during slower periods, you may not need as many resources. This introduces cloud scaling, which encompasses two concepts known as horizontal scaling and auto-scaling groups. Horizontal scaling adds or removes virtual servers as needed, providing greater flexibility and fault tolerance. And auto-scaling groups defines the policies for automatically scaling resources based on predefined triggers. To apply cloud scaling, let's unpack which business situations this concept is tailored to address. First, predictive scaling can be employed for web applications experiencing predictable traffic spikes. This method involves analyzing historical traffic patterns to proactively schedule the addition of resources before peak periods. For workloads characterized by unpredictable bursts of activity, buffer scaling can be employed. This strategy entails maintaining a small pool of spare resources that can be automatically provisioned when required. Once the workload diminishes, the spare resources can be automatically deprovisioned. For long-running batch processes like data analysis or scientific simulations, spot instances can be a cost-effective option. These instances are significantly cheaper, but come with the caveat of being interruptible. However, for workloads that can be restarted without significant impact, they offer substantial cost savings. With regards to flexibility, you may experience this because you have the option to work remotely. Think about a sudden office closure due to a natural disaster or a global pandemic. With traditional IT infrastructure, there's a risk of bringing operations to a standstill. However, cloud computing enables employees to seamlessly work from anywhere as long as there's an internet connection. This flexibility ensures business continuity and minimal disruption. Security is paramount when considering cloud adoption. The good news is that cloud security providers offer a robust security infrastructure with features like data encryption, where data is encrypted at rest, which means it's stored on servers. Then there's data encryption in transit, where it travels between your device and the cloud. This ensures that the data remains secure even if it's intercepted. Identity and access management, or IAM, involves granular access controls, ensuring only authorized users can access specific resources. And with security compliance, many cloud service providers adhere to strict industry regulations and compliance standards, such as General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, and Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, commonly referred to as HIPAA, which helps protect sensitive patient healthcare information. It's important to remember that security is a shared responsibility. Traditional infrastructure is often inflexible. Scaling up or down requires physically adding or removing servers, which can be a complex and time-consuming process. This can lead to bottlenecks during peak periods and wasted resources during slower times. In summary, cloud computing revolutionizes modern business infrastructure. It offers cost savings, scalability, and flexibility. Through resource virtualization and a pay-per-use model, businesses optimize costs while meeting dynamic demands. Cloud enables workforce flexibility and ensures business continuity. With robust security measures, it's an indispensable tool for agility and innovation. The cloud offers incredible benefits for businesses and individuals, but it's quite natural to have concerns about data protection. You may recall experiencing or hearing about a security breach where company data or personal information was stolen. The insecurity lies in that cyber criminals gain access not only through a sudden big breach, but by subtly stealing small bits of information over a long period of time. This makes it difficult to detect. The good news is that this video offers some peace of mind as you discover cloud security principles and how your information stays safe. The cloud has revolutionized the way we store and access data. From large corporations to individual entrepreneurs, everyone's embracing its flexibility and scalable storage solutions. However, with convenience comes responsibility. Moving data to the cloud raises questions, such as, how secure is my information? Can I trust the cloud service provider, or CSP, with my sensitive data? And are there regulations around cloud storage? These are valid concerns. So let's address these questions by exploring the mechanisms that ensure your data remains secure in the cloud. Firstly, there's encryption. Imagine your data locked away in a secure vault. Think of encryption as that vault which scrambles your data into an unreadable format. So, even if someone gains unauthorized access, they can't decipher the information without the decryption key. Most reputable cloud providers utilize robust encryption methods like AES 256, a standard considered virtually unbreakable. This ensures your data remains protected at rest, meaning it's stored on servers, and in transit when it travels between your device and the cloud. Encryption lays the foundation, but who gains access to that encrypted data? This is where access controls come in. Cloud providers offer granular access control tools, allowing you to determine who can view, edit, or delete specific data sets. Imagine granting access only to authorized users within your organization, each with different permission levels. This ensures that only those who need specific information can access it, minimizing the risk of unauthorized access. Let's take access control a step further. Multi-factor authentication, or MFA, is an additional security layer requiring more than just a username and password to access data. Think of it like a two-step security system for your home. You need both the key and a security code to enter. MFA methods can include one-time PINs sent to your phone, fingerprint scanners, or security tokens. This extra hurdle significantly reduces the chances of unauthorized access, even if a hacker acquires your password. Data protection regulations like General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, as well as Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, or HIPAA for short, govern how sensitive information is handled. These regulations dictate how data must be stored, accessed, and protected. Cloud providers take compliance seriously and invest heavily in ensuring their services meet the strictest regulatory standards. Understanding specific regulations relevant to your data ensures that you choose a cloud service provider that adheres to them. Cloud providers play a crucial role in safeguarding your data. They invest in state-of-the-art data centers with advanced physical security measures. This includes 24/7 surveillance, access control systems, and disaster recovery protocols to ensure data redundancy and availability in case of unforeseen events. Many cloud providers also offer security features like intrusion detection systems and vulnerability assessments, constantly monitoring their platforms for potential threats. These proactive measures provide additional layers of security. It's important to understand the shared responsibility model. While cloud providers take significant responsibility for security infrastructure and services, you also have a role to play. Here are some best practices to further enhance security in the cloud. Enforce strong password policies within your organization and mandate multi-factor authentication for all cloud accounts. Secondly, monitor user activity logs to identify any suspicious behavior or unauthorized access attempts. Another best practice is to ensure all sensitive data is encrypted both at rest and in transit. Next, maintain regular backups of your data and establish a disaster recovery plan to ensure quick recovery in case of outages and disruptions. And train your employees on cloud security best practices, including identifying phishing attempts and avoiding suspicious links. As important as security is, there are other factors that contribute to a successful cloud experience. Some additional considerations include vendor lock-in, which evaluates the ease of migrating your data to another provider if needed. Avoid situations where you're locked into a single vendor's ecosystem. With performance and scalability, select a cloud provider with a robust infrastructure that can handle your current and future data storage and processing needs. Consider cost effectiveness by comparing pricing models offered by different providers, with factors like storage capacity, bandwidth usage, and additional security features you require. Finally, customer support ensures the cloud provider offers reliable and responsive customer support in case you encounter any issues. The cloud offers a powerful and convenient way to store and access data. By understanding cloud security principles and implementing best practices, you can ensure your information remains safe and secure. Remember, security is a shared responsibility. Cloud service providers invest heavily in secure infrastructure, but you also play a vital role in protecting your data. By following the recommendations and choosing a reputable cloud provider with a robust security posture, you can reap the benefits of the cloud with complete peace of mind. Navigating the complexities of cloud service models is crucial for any business owner considering a cloud solution. Picture yourself standing before 3 distinct doors, each representing a different cloud service. Behind each door lies a variety of resources and options. How do you determine which one aligns best with your company's needs? In this video, you'll examine the three distinct service models of cloud computing: infrastructure as a service, or IaaS, platform as a service, or PaaS, and software as a service, or SaaS. You'll explore what sets these models apart and how they function within cloud computing. You will also examine Microsoft Azure's brilliance and discover why it is at the forefront of cloud computing. Before examining the different cloud service models, let's remind ourselves of the three deployment models: public, private, and hybrid clouds. You may remember that public clouds offer on-demand computing resources over the internet, providing cost-effectiveness, scalability, and ease of use. While private clouds are dedicated environments offering enhanced control, customization, and security, ideal for organizations with strict data regulation. Hybrid clouds combine the strengths of both public and private clouds, seamlessly integrating on-premises infrastructure with platforms like Microsoft Azure. They offer tailored solutions, control over sensitive data, scalability, and cost optimization. Azure enhances security, enables disaster recovery, fosters agility and innovation, and optimizes costs, making hybrid cloud adoption compelling for businesses. Hybrid clouds offer several advantages, including security and compliance. Azure provides strong security measures and compliance certifications, safeguarding sensitive data across environments. Azure Security Center aids centralized security management and threat detection. And disaster recovery. Hybrid cloud enables a robust disaster recovery plan, ensuring business continuity by seamlessly transferring critical workloads to Azure during on-premises outages. They also offer agility and innovation. Hybrid cloud liberates resources from infrastructure management, fostering innovation and quick responses to market changes. And lastly, cost optimization. Leveraging Azure resources as needed minimizes costs while maximizing existing on-premises infrastructure investment. Now that you understand the basics, let's unravel the functions and features of each cloud service model. First up is IaaS. Imagine having access to a virtual data center overflowing with computing resources like servers, storage, and networking. This is the essence of IaaS, offered by Azure, through services like Azure Virtual Machines, Azure Storage, and Azure Virtual Network. You can provide these resources on demand, like turning on a light switch. Here's the beauty of IaaS. It can eliminate upfront costs. That's right, say goodbye to hefty upfront investments in hardware. With IaaS, you pay only for the resources you use, bringing significant cost savings and improved financial flexibility. Scalability is made easy, and business needs fluctuate. IaaS will allow you to scale your IT resources up or down in Azure as required. No more being stuck with underutilized or overloaded servers. Respond swiftly to changing demands and optimize your resource allocation. And it allows the focus to be on innovation. Free yourself from the burden of managing physical infrastructure. IaaS allows your IT team to dedicate their expertise to developing groundbreaking solutions and innovation, propelling your business forward. Next is PaaS, a complete deployment and development environment in the cloud. Imagine having a pre-built workbench with all the tools and services you need to build and deploy applications. PaaS offers faster development through pre-coded components, and middleware allows developers to expedite application creation, which reduces coding time, increases productivity, and accelerates time to market. It also offers streamlined management. PaaS manages the underlying infrastructure, including servers, operating systems, and networking, freeing up your IT team to focus on core development tasks and application management. Like IaaS, PaaS allows the focus to be on innovation. With PaaS, managing the groundwork, your organization can dedicate its resources to building excellent applications and fostering a culture of continuous improvement. Last up is SaaS, which has become a game changer in the modern world. Imagine accessing fully functional applications like CRM software or productivity tools directly over the internet with minimal setup. Some key benefits of SaaS include effortless access. SaaS applications are readily available, eliminating the need for complex installations or ongoing maintenance. Get up and running quickly and focus on using the application to drive business value. SaaS also allows for automatic updates. No more worrying about software updates or compatibility issues. The vendor handles everything with SaaS, ensuring you always have access to the latest features and security patches. And scalability on demand. You can scale your usage of SaaS applications up or down as your needs evolve. Pay only for the features and functionality you require, making SaaS a cost-effective solution for businesses of all sizes. As you've already discovered, Microsoft Azure is a frontrunner among public cloud platforms. It is renowned for its robust security measures, unmatched scalability, adeptness in hybrid cloud solutions, and extensive global reach. With Azure as your trusted ally, you gain access to the full spectrum of cloud computing models, thus empowering you to propel your business into the forefront of the cloud era. Here's why Azure stands out. It offers security and compliance. Azure prioritizes security with a multi-layered approach and rigorous compliance certifications, ensuring the safety and privacy of your data across both your on-premises environment and the cloud. Scalability and flexibility. Azure offers unmatched scalability, allowing you to adapt your cloud resources to meet your ever-changing business demands. Scale up during peak periods and down when needed, optimizing your cloud spending. You also receive hybrid cloud expertise. Microsoft is a recognized leader in hybrid cloud solutions. Azure provides a robust set of tools and services specifically designed to facilitate seamless integration with your on-premises infrastructure. Lastly, global reach and reliability. With a vast network of data centers worldwide, Azure offers exceptional performance, reliability, and low latency, ensuring your applications are accessible to users everywhere. In conclusion, navigating the complexities of the cloud demands informed decision-making. As you've explored each cloud model, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS offers unique benefits tailored to diverse business needs. Microsoft Azure emerges as a standout choice, offering unparalleled security, scalability, expertise, and global reliability. With Azure as your partner, you're equipped to harness the full potential of cloud computing, drive excellence and efficiency, and propel your business to the forefront of innovation. As an IT professional, the responsibility of upgrading your organization's digital infrastructure may fall on your shoulders in the future. But how do you determine the best option tailored to your company's specific needs? In this video, you'll explore the intricacies of the three primary cloud deployment models: public, private, and multi-cloud. Along the way, You'll acquire an in-depth understanding of each model's unique advantages and applications, arming you with the knowledge necessary to navigate and optimize your organization's digital infrastructure confidently. Let's begin with public clouds. Imagine accessing computing power instantly over the internet instead of relying on a physical data center. Public cloud providers like Microsoft Azure offer just that. Through a wide selection of services, from storage to virtual machines. These advantages include unmatched scalability, which makes it easy to scale your resources up or down as needed. Elasticity, which allows you to add resources for demanding tasks or scale web apps during traffic spikes, all without managing extra hardware. And cost effectiveness. Because public clouds let you pay only for what you use, saving on upfront costs and making it easier to manage your budget. Public clouds also offer a multitude of uses across various industries, with gaming companies benefiting significantly, especially those with popular online multiplayer platforms. Using Azure Virtual Machines, or VMs, equipped with auto-scaling capabilities, ensures seamless gameplay experiences during peak player traffic by dynamically adjusting resources as needed, thereby optimizing costs while maintaining performance. While public clouds offer convenience, organizations are now building their own private clouds for the ultimate security and control they bring. These private clouds can be built in-house on their own servers or within a secure, managed data center. Private clouds offer enhanced security, making them ideal for industries like finance and healthcare, where data privacy is paramount. You have complete control over who can access your data and how. Firewalls and granular access controls ensure that only authorized users can enter specific areas of your private cloud. Private clouds also offer customization on a granular level, allowing organizations to integrate seamlessly with existing on-premises systems and harness specialized hardware tailored to the unique demands of their workloads. Azure Stack Private Cloud brings Azure power to your on-premises data center. This hybrid approach allows you to manage a consistent environment for your applications, leveraging familiar Azure tools and services while maintaining control over your data and infrastructure. Now let's explore how hybrid clouds offer the advantages of both worlds. Hybrid clouds allow you to leverage your own on-premises infrastructure alongside the services provided by a public cloud provider such as Microsoft Azure, resulting in a versatile and secure environment. This allows for optimized resourcing that allows you to allocate workloads strategically. Critical tasks requiring high security can run on your private cloud, while less sensitive tasks that need to scale up and down can leverage the cost efficiency and scalability of Azure public clouds. This optimizes resources across your entire IT infrastructure. And disaster recovery. Hybrid clouds also strengthen your disaster recovery plan. If your on-premises data center experiences an outage, Azure can seamlessly take over critical operations, minimizing downtime and ensuring business continuity. Azure Site Recovery takes this further by allowing organizations to seamlessly replicate their VMs and critical applications to Azure, ensuring rapid failover and minimal downtime in the face of adversity. In the event of a catastrophe at the primary site, Azure stands ready to orchestrate the swift transition of workloads, facilitating uninterrupted business operations and mitigating the impact of potential disruptions. Increasingly, organizations are adopting a strategic approach of using multiple cloud providers. This enables workload distribution, mitigates vendor lock-in risks, and increases fault tolerance. By adopting a multi-cloud approach, organizations can enhance application resilience and availability. The multi-cloud approach is a strategic deployment model that harnesses the strengths of multiple cloud providers. By diversifying workloads across different platforms, organizations can avoid vendor lock-in and leverage the best services tailored to their specific needs. Furthermore, multi-cloud enhances fault tolerance by distributing workloads across multiple cloud platforms, mitigating the impact of potential outages within a single provider. This safeguards against disruptions and ensures uninterrupted business operations. Consider a situation where an organization opts for a multi-cloud approach using Azure and another cloud provider. In this scenario, the other cloud provider can host the core web application tier, which would take advantage of its robust infrastructure and scalability features. Meanwhile, Azure seamlessly handles specific big data analytics tasks that demand advanced machine learning capabilities. Azure's specialized services in this domain make it an ideal choice for handling such workloads effectively. It's noteworthy that Azure can also provide the core web application tier, offering organizations flexibility in choosing the most suitable platform based on their specific requirements and preferences. By embracing this multi-cloud strategy, organizations not only harness the individual strengths of cloud providers, but also mitigate the risk of a single point of failure. This diversified approach ensures optimal performance, scalability, and resilience, catering to the dynamic demands of modern workloads. As you navigate the complexities of upgrading your organization's digital infrastructure, understanding the intricacies of cloud deployment models is paramount. Through our exploration of public, private, and multi-cloud approaches, you've gained valuable insights into optimizing resources, enhancing security, and developing resilience. With the power of cloud technology at your fingertips, you're poised to navigate the digital landscape confidently, ensuring your organization remains agile, secure, and primed for future success. Well done. In this section, you have gained essential knowledge of the main concepts of cloud computing. However, before proceeding further, let's recap the core topics you've been introduced to. Additionally, take this opportunity to revisit the previous content to ensure you are fully prepared before tackling the module quiz. As you started this section, you learned about the practical implications of cloud computing. After that, you explored a bit of history that shedded light on key moments that shaped the evolution of cloud technology. The overview explored essential concepts like virtualization, elasticity, and on-demand self-service, thereby making the foundational aspects of cloud computing accessible and informative. You then gained a strong understanding of cloud computing's fundamental concepts, terminology, and principles. You explored the advantages and challenges of cloud technology, how it applies every day to business, and its impact on business operations. You also studied how cloud computing affects traditional IT infrastructures and business processes. Following this, you studied the practical applications of cloud computing, encountering numerous real-world examples spanning several diverse industries. These theoretical and practical examples go beyond just cloud computing. They highlight its transformative impact on traditional business processes. They are meant to inspire you with their real-world impact and motivate you to continue your exploration. Key concepts covered include efficiency, scalability, and flexibility. The transformative impact on traditional business processes was then underscored, followed by an examination of potential challenges in implementing cloud solutions. You also explored some considerations to keep in mind to ensure successful integration and optimization. As you progressed, you gained insight into current trends and innovations in cloud computing, which demonstrated the importance of staying up to date on emerging technologies and their impact on the cloud services industry. By focusing on developing analytical skills for strategic decision-making and evaluating the evolving landscape of cloud technology, you can equip yourself for the future. You followed this by exploring the critical advantages of cloud computing, including cost, scalability, and flexibility. You discovered how cloud computing leads to cost savings through resource optimization and pay-as-you-go models. Real-world examples were used to illustrate the cost efficiency achieved by organizations in the cloud. Additionally, the significance of scalability in cloud computing was defined, emphasizing its role in adapting resources to meet varying demands. Case studies were presented to demonstrate successful implementations of scalability, showcasing how organizations effectively adjusted their infrastructure to handle changing workloads. The economic benefits of cloud computing were showcased through business examples that illustrated practical implications and analyzed economic factors that influence organizations' decisions to adopt cloud services. Next, you completed an overview of common security challenges in cloud computing that demonstrated the importance of data protection for cloud-based solutions. It explored encryption techniques that can be employed by cloud service providers and discussed the pivotal role of access controls in maintaining security. The recognition of regulatory requirements for data stored in the cloud was highlighted, followed by an exploration of how cloud providers ensured compliance with industry regulations. Towards the end, the importance of recognizing the cloud service models, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service was discussed. You developed a foundational understanding of these service models and analyzed their distinctive features and use cases, gaining insight into differentiating between them based on functionalities and applications. This provided valuable insights into how these service models address specific business needs. In the final part, you moved on to cloud deployment models, studying public, private, hybrid, and multi-cloud. This segment stressed the importance of selecting a suitable deployment model that is based on organizational needs and discussed the characteristics and considerations for each option. Great job. You have engaged with various videos, readings, and activities that encompassed the fundamental concepts of cloud computing. You are now equipped with essential knowledge and insights to navigate cloud technology's dynamic landscape and make informed decisions in various business contexts. You have now taken your first step towards becoming a cloud support professional. For many businesses, the market demands that they remain one step ahead digitally, always striving to gain and maintain a competitive edge. This requires them to be agile when innovating quite rapidly across many locations and different time zones. Operating via cloud computing makes this possible with Microsoft Azure services, facilitating this process at the forefront. In this video, you'll embark on an exciting adventure where you'll discover Microsoft Azure's comprehensive suite of cloud computing services that unleashes boundless potential for businesses of all sizes. But first, what is Microsoft Azure? Imagine transforming your traditional on-premise server room with bulky hardware and limited scalability into a dynamic virtual playground. That's the magic of Microsoft Azure. It offers a vast collection of on-demand, scalable services that empower you to build, deploy, and manage cutting-edge applications in the cloud. No matter what your needs are, whether basic computing power or building intelligent chatbots with artificial intelligence, commonly called AI, Azure has the tools to propel your ideas forward. There are core service categories that make Azure the cloud powerhouse it is. Think of them as the essential ingredients in your recipe for cloud success. These categories include computing, storage, and networking. First up, there's compute. This category provides the fundamental engine that drives your cloud applications. It's the virtual location where your applications reside and process information. With compute, there are some essential services such as Azure Virtual Machines, or VMs, which can be thought of as on-demand workhorses. VMs are scalable virtual computers, allowing you to run any operating system and workload you need, be it a simple website or a complex scientific simulation. The Azure App Service streamlines the process of building, deploying, and scaling web applications and APIs in various programming languages. Simply focus on your code, and Azure handles the behind-the-scenes infrastructure. Next is Azure Functions, a serverless compute service that allows you to run event-triggered code without provisioning or managing servers. It's perfect for executing small pieces of code or responding to events. For containerized applications, Azure Kubernetes Service, or AKS, provides a managed Kubernetes service that simplifies the deployment, management, and scaling of containerized applications using Kubernetes. Lastly, Azure Batch is a service that enables large-scale parallel and high-performance computing, or HPC, batch jobs. It's useful for scenarios like rendering graphics, conducting simulations, or processing big data. Now, let's move on to storage. This category ensures your valuable data is securely stored and readily accessible. It's like a giant, limitless filing cabinet in the cloud. Here are some key storage solutions. Azure Blob Storage is ideal for storing unstructured data like images, videos, documents, and even sensor data from the Internet of Things or IoT devices. It's cost-effective and highly scalable, perfect for massive data sets. Azure SQL Database relates to relational databases that require structure and high performance. This managed service offers scalability and high availability, so you don't have to worry about database administration because Azure handles it all. Azure Files is a managed file share service. It allows you to create highly available network file shares that multiple virtual machines can access. Azure Disk Storage is for persistent data storage on Azure virtual machines. Azure Disk Storage provides scalable and highly available block storage with different performance tiers to meet various workload requirements. Azure Data Lake Storage is designed for big data analytics. It provides a scalable and secure repository for high-performance analytics, including data exploration and machine learning. The last category is networking. This category acts as the invisible orchestra conductor, ensuring smooth communication and data flow between your cloud solutions' moving parts. Imagine your application components scattered across different virtual machines. Networking seamlessly connects them, enabling them to work together in perfect harmony. Here's a glimpse into some essential services. Azure Virtual Network creates a private network within Azure, allowing secure communication between your resources. It's like having a dedicated highway for your application's data, isolated from the public internet. Azure Content Delivery Network, or CDN, takes things further. It delivers content like static files, such as images or videos, to users with high performance and low latency. Imagine users across the globe accessing your website. A CDN ensures it loads lightning fast, no matter their location. Azure Load Balancer distributes incoming network traffic across multiple servers to ensure the high availability and reliability of applications. It can be configured for both inbound and outbound traffic. Azure Express Route establishes private connections between Azure data centers and on-premises infrastructure or co-location environments. It offers predictable latency, reliability, and higher security compared to connections over the public internet. Azure Firewall, a managed cloud-based network security service, protects your Azure Virtual Network resources. It provides stateful firewall capabilities with built-in high availability and scalability. Let's examine some key Azure features that can empower your cloud journey. First, there's DevOps integration. Azure DevOps provides development tools for planning, collaboration, and software delivery. It supports version control, agile planning, continuous integration, and deployment automation. Azure offers a range of AI and machine learning services, including Azure Cognitive Services for adding vision, speech, language, and decision capabilities to applications, and Azure Machine Learning for building, training, and deploying machine learning models at scale. Azure IoT Hub enables secure and scalable communication between IoT devices and cloud applications. It provides device management, data ingestion, and real-time analytics for IoT solutions. Regarding data analytics and business intelligence, Azure Synapse Analytic, formerly known as SQL Data Warehouse, integrates big data and data warehousing capabilities for large-scale data analytics. Additionally, Azure Analytics Services offers tools like Power BI for interactive data visualization and analysis. Beyond these categories, Azure boasts several other key features that elevate your cloud experience to enable you to build robust, resilient cloud solutions. These include scalability on demand, which allows you to adjust resources up or down based on your needs quickly. Do you need more processing power during peak seasons? Azure's unwavering security prioritizes data security with robust features like encryption at rest and in transit, multi-factor authentication, and access control. Sleep soundly, knowing your data is protected. Finally, there's always-on reliability. High availability and disaster recovery solutions keep your applications running smoothly, even in unforeseen circumstances. Azure replicates your data across geographically dispersed locations. This video gave you an overview of the core Azure service categories and their fundamental characteristics. Remember, these are just the building blocks. Azure offers a much more comprehensive range of services to cater to specific needs, from artificial intelligence to machine learning and beyond. Microsoft Azure is your cloud computing platform, a digital playground where you can build, deploy, and manage applications without needing your own physical data centers. Think of it as a universe of possibilities ready for you to explore and innovate. Before beginning, let's get familiar with some key terms. A tenant refers to your team or organization sharing access to Azure services. Your account is your login for managing your Azure subscription, whether work, school, or personal. Subscription is the agreement with Microsoft for Azure services. Next is region, which refers to a data center location within Azure, and geography is a defined boundary for data residency, typically containing multiple regions. Then there's the difference between a resource and a resource group. A resource is any element of your Azure solution, like databases or virtual machines, whereas a resource group is a container holding related resources for an application within Resource Manager. Your role is to control access to Azure resources. With your storage account, you can access Azure Blob, Queue, Table, and File services in Azure Storage. Next is an image. It's a file containing the operating system and application configuration used to create virtual machines. A reference to offer relates to pricing, credits, and terms applicable to an Azure subscription. A portal is a secure web directory that deploys and manages Azure services. Finally, a service level agreement, or SLA, describes Microsoft's commitments for uptime and connectivity. Now that is covered, let's dive in and discover what you can do with Azure. If you think of the future, then artificial intelligence, or AI, and machine learning, or ML, come into play. Azure offers a variety of tools to help you build intelligent applications. Even beginners can create AI models with services like Azure AI Bot Service, Azure Machine Learning, and Custom Vision. No coding knowledge is required at all. Perhaps you need a place to host and manage your applications. Azure once again has you covered. It offers serverless computing with Azure Functions through to traditional hosting with virtual machines or VMs. Azure provides flexibility for any developer, beginner or professional. Containers are a popular way to deploy applications consistently and efficiently. Azure offers services like Azure Kubernetes Service, or AKS for short, and Azure Container Instances to easily manage your centralized applications, even if you're new to containers. Databases are the backbone of many applications, and Azure has a variety of managed database services to fit your needs. Whether you need a relational database like Azure SQL Database or NoSQL solution like Azure Cosmos DB, Azure has it. Modern software development is all about DevOps practices. Azure provides tools to support your journey from managing development pipelines with Azure DevOps to tracking application performance with Azure Monitor. So, essentially, Azure helps you adopt DevOps best practices, even if you're just starting out. As IT landscapes become more complex, hybrid and multi-cloud environments are increasingly common. Azure offers solutions to manage these deployments with services like Azure Arc and Azure Stack. So you can extend Azure's capabilities to your on-premises infrastructure or other cloud providers. Security is vital, and managing user identities and access permissions is crucial. Services like Entra ID, formerly known as Azure Active Directory, and Azure Key Vault, make it easy to secure your applications and data, even if you're new to identity management. Connecting your applications and services is critical for efficiency. Azure offers a range of tools to help you integrate your systems seamlessly, whether you build APIs with Azure API Management or automate workflows with Azure Logic Apps. The Internet of Things, or IoT, is transforming industries by connecting devices and collecting data from the physical world. Azure provides a comprehensive IoT platform to help you build and manage your IoT solutions, such as device connectivity with Azure IoT Hub or data analytics with Azure Time Series Insights. When it comes to management and governance, maintaining security and compliance is essential for managing your Azure resources effectively. Azure offers tools like Azure Policy and Defender for Cloud, which allow you to enforce governance policies and monitor your resources for potential security threats. Azure provides a range of networking services to build secure and scalable networks. Whether you want to set up virtual networks with Azure Virtual Network or secure your web applications with Azure Web Application Firewall, Azure assists you in every step of the way. For organizational security, Azure offers a range of services to help you protect your applications and data from cyber threats. Azure DDoS protection to Microsoft Defender for Cloud is an example of a service that keeps your infrastructure secure. Moving on to storage. Storage is a huge consideration for application development. Azure storage services help you store and manage your data effectively. Whether you need object storage with Azure Blob Storage or file storage with Azure Files, Azure provides scalable and reliable storage solutions to suit your needs. You may need to provide virtual desktops to your users from the cloud. Virtual desktop infrastructure, commonly called VDI for short, enables remote access to applications and data. Azure offers services like Azure Virtual Desktop to help you seamlessly deploy and manage this process. Finally, let's discuss web services. Azure offers a range of tools to help you build and deploy web applications quickly and easily. You might be required to host a static website, which can be done with Azure Static Web App. You can also build a scalable web application with Azure App Service. Microsoft Azure provides the tools you need to bring your web projects to life. In this video, you learned about the Azure offerings that make up its ecosystem of services. You familiarized yourself with essential terms before unpacking each of the essential service categories available to you. You can rest assured that Azure covers all your development needs. In our constantly connected world, even brief downtime can deal a severe blow to businesses. Picture an e-commerce platform crashing during its busiest period or a vital financial tool suddenly inaccessible. This underscores the crucial importance of high availability, or HA. In this video, you will explore how Microsoft Azure offers you the tools to construct robust applications capable of weathering virtually any storm. By leveraging Azure, you can guarantee a smooth user experience and maintain uninterrupted business functions, regardless of the challenges. However, you might currently be wondering, what exactly is HA? Let's explore that question now. HA simply means a system or application can continue functioning despite failures. It involves eradicating single points of failure, or SPOFs, which are key components whose failure could disrupt the entire system. Azure helps you achieve HA through the following ways. First, redundancy. Azure provides various ways to create redundancy, like replicating data and deploying virtual machines across multiple resources. This ensures that if one component fails, another can seamlessly take over. Next, by implementing fast failover mechanisms. Azure can automatically detect failures and quickly switch to healthy backup resources, minimizing downtime and keeping your applications online. And scalability. HA systems need to handle increased loads without compromising availability. Azure's elastic cloud infrastructure allows you to scale resources up or down quickly based on demand. Azure regions are unique geographic locations where your cloud resources reside. Within each region lies an added layer of security called availability zones, or AZs. These AZs consist of separate physical data centers within a region, each equipped with independent power, cooling, and networking capabilities. AZs offer fault isolation. If an issue arises in one AZ, it's unlikely to affect the others, so your applications across multiple AZs remain operational. And enhanced resilience. Dispersing virtual machines across various AZs establishes redundancy, bolstering your application's overall resilience. Another essential component for HA is Azure Load Balancer. It functions as a traffic manager, intelligently spreading incoming traffic among a group of functional virtual machines, guaranteeing scalability. The load manager efficiently manages sudden increases in traffic by distributing the workload across multiple VMs. High availability. In case of a VM failure, the load balancer promptly removes it from the pool and redirects traffic to operational VMs, ensuring uninterrupted user experience. And health monitoring. By continuously monitoring VM health, the load balancer can be set to take specific actions upon detecting issues, which maintains system stability. For web applications, Azure App Service Environments, or ASE, provides a highly available and scalable environment. It offers several features that contribute to HA, including isolated infrastructures. ASEs creates a dedicated environment with its own virtual network and load balancers, ensuring isolation from other applications running in Azure. Automatic scaling. ASCs can automatically scale your web application up or down based on traffic demands. This ensures your application has the resources it needs to remain responsive even during peak loads. And built-in load balancing. ASE comes with built-in load balancing that distributes traffic across multiple instances of your web application, preventing any single instance from becoming overloaded. While ASEs protect within a region, what if a more extensive outage impacts the entire area? That's where Azure comes in, enabling you to achieve HA across geographically distant locations. Azure Traffic Manager is a vital tool for HA across regions. It functions like an advanced domain name system, or DNS service, by first setting up a traffic manager to direct users to your application endpoints located in different regions. Next, it continuously monitors your application endpoints' health and performance across various regions. Traffic Manager considers factors like availability, latency, and responsiveness. Then, based on health checks, the Traffic Manager smartly routes user traffic to the most available and efficient endpoint. In case of a region outage, it automatically diverts traffic to a healthy region, reducing downtime and ensuring uninterrupted service for your users. Another feature of Azure is its brilliant site recovery, or ASR. This disaster recovery solution takes HA a step further, enabling you to replicate your virtual machines and services to a secondary region that's geographically separate from your primary area. This replication happens continuously, keeping your data and applications synchronized. Azure Front Door is another tool for achieving HA in global applications with users that are spread across different locations. This Global Content Delivery Network, or CDN service, enhances the delivery of your web content and applications to users around the world. It offers global reach through a vast network of edge locations, and with intelligent traffic routing, similar to Traffic Manager, the front door can intelligently route user traffic to the nearest Azure region with optimal performance and availability. The front door is designed with high availability in mind. It boasts geographically redundant infrastructure and the ability to automatically reroute traffic in the event of disruptions at any edge location. Now that you've seen Azure's powerful HA features, here are some best practices to consider when designing your HA. Firstly, it's imperative to design for fault tolerance by integrating redundant resources and architectures. This will help to eradicate single points of failure and enhance the system's resilience against potential disruptions. You should also automate monitoring and alerting, which helps to maintain system health. By continuously monitoring resources and configuring alerts, teams can promptly address any anomalies. Next, regularly testing failover and disaster recovery processes will validate their effectiveness, identify system weaknesses, and ensure smooth recovery procedures. Using Azure Availability Sets is strongly advised for spreading virtual machines across various fault and update domains. This approach boosts availability by reducing the effects of hardware failures or scheduled maintenance. Finally, it's crucial to include Azure Managed Services like Azure SQL Database, Azure Cosmos DB, and Azure Functions. By using these fully managed services, organizations can delegate infrastructure management tasks and maintain uninterrupted service delivery. By following these best practices and leveraging Azure's robust set of HA features, you can build highly available applications that are resilient and scalable and deliver exceptional performance to your users worldwide. Remember, a well-designed HA architecture minimizes downtime and ensures your business operations remain uninterrupted, even during unexpected disruptions. Imagine you're setting up virtual machines or VMs in Azure for your organization. Depending on how you configure them, these VMs have a certain level of availability by default. But what if you need more assurance? That's where availability sets come into play. In this video, you'll explore availability sets, availability zones, and fault domains, and learn how they work together to create a robust and resilient cloud environment. Let's start by gaining an understanding of availability sets. Availability sets safeguard your virtual machine assets. They function as a strategic organization tool, guaranteeing that your VMs are distributed across various physical servers, racks, and storage units within a data center. But why does this matter? Consider this. Within a data center, numerous components such as racks, servers, power supplies, and network switches exist, each representing a potential vulnerability. If all your VMs are concentrated in a single zone, a failure in that zone could disrupt your entire application. That's quite concerning, isn't it? This is where the concept of fault domains come in. Think of fault domains as individual segments within a data center, each with its own set of resources. If one segment fails, the others remain unaffected. Imagine a large building filled with powerful computers. That's an Azure data center. To ensure reliability, these data centers are further divided into smaller sections called fault domains. Think of them as neighborhoods within a data center. Fault domains are groupings within an availability zone that further isolate your Azure resources from potential hardware or software failures. Even if a single server malfunctions within a fault domain, your resources in other fault domains remain unaffected. This additional layer of isolation minimizes downtime and keeps your applications running smoothly. Now, let's explore Azure Availability Zones, the latest frontier in resilience within the Azure ecosystem. An Azure Availability Zone is not just a data center, it's a fortified stronghold of redundancy. Each availability zone is a separate physical location within an Azure region, equipped with its own independent power, cooling, and networking infrastructure. But what sets availability zones apart? Well, for starters, the level of resilience. With availability zones, your acceptable downtime shrinks to less than 5 minutes per month, thanks to a 99.99% SLA. By spreading your workload across multiple availability zones, you're ensuring that even if one zone goes down, your services remain operational. This level of redundancy is crucial for mission-critical applications that demand the highest levels of availability. Exploring Azure's architecture, you encounter its fundamental building blocks, Azure regions and zones. An Azure region is not merely a geographical location. It serves as a strategic nexus for cloud infrastructure. Azure meticulously orchestrates a network of data centers within each Azure region, forming the backbone of Azure's global footprint. A region contains multiple data centers meticulously positioned within a designated geographical area. These data centers interconnect through a specialized network infrastructure meticulously engineered for low latency connection. Within each availability zone, Azure orchestrates fault domains, providing granular isolation to safeguard against localized failures. These fault domains act as distinct segments within the availability zone, each equipped with its own set of resources, such as power supply, network infrastructure, and storage. In the event of a disruption within a region, Azure's fault tolerance architecture springs into action. Even if one availability zone encounters an issue, the others continue operating seamlessly, ensuring uninterrupted service delivery for your applications and services. This multi-layered approach to high availability epitomizes Azure's commitment to resilience and reliability in the cloud landscape. A critical aspect to note is that Azure resources, including virtual machines, databases, and storage accounts, are provisioned within specific Azure regions and subscriptions. Furthermore, certain Azure regions may impose default access restrictions, ensuring secure and compliant deployment of resources. But how do you decide between availability sets and availability zones? It all depends on your specific requirements and the level of resilience your application demands. Availability sets offer robust protection within a single data center, while availability zones elevate your resilience to a regional scale. You might wonder when to opt for availability zones instead of availability sets. The answer depends on understanding your workload and its specific requirements. Consider the following factors when designing your Azure architecture. Are availability zones available in the region I want to use? Check the Azure documentation to see which regions support availability zones and which services are compatible with them. What SLA or availability does this workload really need? It's essential to align your high availability strategy with your business needs. Each configuration offers a different level of resilience. For 99.9%, use a single VM with premium SSD or UltraDisk. For 99.95%, use an availability set. And for 99.99%, availability zones are the best. Before concluding, it's important to remember that resilience is not just a feature, it's a mindset. Leveraging tools like availability sets, availability zones, and fault domains can architect robust, fault-tolerant solutions that empower your applications. Imagine that your e-commerce store has suddenly hit a growth spurt. You have the basics in place, but with the intense demand spread across multiple regions, you realize you need various services to communicate with each. To be more specific, you need inventory management, order processing, and shipping services to communicate independently, which will give your business the scalability it needs. Microsoft has a wonderful tool called Azure Service Bus that helps applications chat with each other smoothly. Whether you're building complex systems or integrating old-school software, Service Bus can be your go-to tool for communication. When separate applications work together, data must flow reliably and securely between them, even if written in different languages and live on different computers. Azure Service Bus acts like a central message broker, allowing applications to send messages to each other without needing to worry about very granular details. This keeps things separate or decoupled, so applications can evolve independently and operate asynchronously. Service Bus offers two main communication methods for applications: queues and topics. Queues, also known as point-to-point, can be thought of as lines. Applications send messages to a queue. Only one receiver can get each message at a time in the order they were sent. For example, this is well suited for processing tasks, fulfilling orders, or sending essential notifications where the order matters. Regarding topics or publish-subscribe, imagine a broadcast system. An application publishes a message to a topic, and multiple receivers can subscribe to that topic to receive the message. This is ideal for real-time updates like stock prices, sensor data, or event notifications where various applications need the same information. Subscribers can even filter messages they receive to avoid information overload. Azure Service Bus also has relays, which act like secure gateways. They allow applications on your on-premises computers to connect and communicate with applications running in Azure's cloud environment. This lets you leverage the power of Service Bus for communication even if your applications aren't all in the same place. Imagine a complex system where applications need to talk to each other but can't directly yell across the room. Service Bus is a central hub, ensuring messages are delivered reliably, even if the applications are busy or unavailable. Here are some of the ways Service Bus facilitates communication. If you need a quick answer, request reply is a pattern that is like a two-way conversation. An application sends a question or a request message and waits for a response. It's perfect for scenarios like user logins or invoking specific actions. Fan out is applicable when spreading the news. Think of a company-wide announcement. Fan out delivers a single message published to a topic to all subscribed applications simultaneously. It's ideal for real-time updates like stock prices or event notifications where everyone needs to be on the same page. Lastly, dead letter queues, or DLQ for short, relate to undelivered mail. Sometimes messages get lost in the shuffle. Service Bus automatically sends undelivered messages to a DLQ, like a lost and found for messages. This helps identify and troubleshoot any delivery issues. How are applications integrated? Let's put Service Bus to work through the following e-commerce example where a customer places an order on an e-commerce platform. First, send the order details. The application creates a message containing the order details. Service Bus client libraries, which are available in various programming languages, help the application connect and send this message to a queue. Next, hold on to the order until it's processed. Here, the message is stored securely in the queue until the order processing system is ready. This ensures no order data gets lost, even if the processing system is temporarily unavailable. When you're ready to receive the order, configure the order processor. In this phase, the order processing system sets up a listener on Service Bus, waiting for new messages on the chosen queue. Finally, fulfilling the order is achieved by processing that takes action. When a new order message arrives, the listener retrieves the details. The order processing system then springs into action, deducting inventory, generating invoices, and potentially sending confirmation messages back, depending on the specific needs. In summary, Azure Service Bus offers excellent benefits. It makes applications independent, allowing for easier development and scaling. There's guaranteed delivery and message persistence to ensure data integrity. Then, elastic scaling meets your application's ever-changing needs through infrastructure requirements that adapt to network traffic patterns. Additionally, built-in security features provide peace of mind. In this video, you learned what Azure Service Bus is, which facilitates seamless communication between different components. You explored the message delivery patterns and how applications are integrated. Furthermore, you concluded with a summary of some of the benefits of the Azure Service Bus tool. Now you can experiment with this tool to enhance your component communication pathways. The success of a business can often be summed up as a few practices that are consistently exercised and achieved internally. These factors may be operational efficiency, data integration, and adapting to scale the business to meet a greater demand. You may be wondering how businesses get it right. Well, Having the right tools and knowing how to leverage them plays a part, especially when it comes to building simple yet effective workflows. Workflows such as these help achieve operational efficiency, data integration, and scalability. In this video, you'll learn about Azure Logic Apps and how to use it to build simple yet effective workflows. You'll also unpack the process of creating a specific workflow that acts like a watchful assistant to a user who works during specific hours. This workflow is intended to automatically start a virtual machine at a set time and shut it down during inactive hours to save costs. But first, let's identify the key components of Azure Logic Apps. These include workflows that automate processes you create, chaining different actions together. Triggers, where the events kickstart your workflow. Examples include receiving an email, a new file being added to storage, or a scheduled time. Then there are connectors that act as bridges, allowing your workflow to interact with various services like Azure Blob Storage, Dynamics 365, or even third-party applications like X. Lastly, actions are the specific tasks your workflow performs within each step. For example, an action could be sending an email notification, updating a database record, or calling an API. With the key components covered, it's time to create a basic workflow. Examine the following steps to create a simple workflow using Azure Logic Apps. After that, you can access the Azure portal and navigate to the Logic Apps service. To get started, let's head over to the Azure portal. Go ahead and sign in with your Azure account credentials. Once logged in, locate the search bar at the top. Type in Logic Apps to find the required service. From the search results, select Logic Apps. This then takes you to the Azure Logic Apps service. Let's start by setting up an Azure Logic App to automate the startup of a VM at 8 a.m. GMT. For example, you might need to provision a VM for a user whose working hours are from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Once you have selected resource groups, select the Create button. Give the resource group a name, such as Server1-RG1, and select a region. Next, select the Review plus Create button in the bottom left corner. Once the validation is successful, initiate the creation process by selecting Create. A pop-up notification appears upon the successful creation of a resource group. Now let's move on to creating the virtual machine. Once again, using the search bar, type in Virtual Machines. Select Virtual Machines from the search results, followed by selecting the Create button. Next, select the subscription, followed by the recently created resource group. Name the virtual machine as Server 1 and retain the default region availability and zone settings. Replace the existing image with Windows 10 Pro and configure the desired specifications. Next, consider selecting a decent size such as 16 gigabytes of RAM. Feel free to select a RAM size that aligns with your Azure credit. As you change the size specifications, an estimated cost will appear in the upper right corner. Under the Administrator Account section, select a username and secure password. Take a moment to review the configurations. If you are satisfied, select the checkbox for licensing. Then select Review plus Create at the bottom. Use the opportunity to review the configurations again and select the Create button. The virtual machine deployment may take a few moments. You can see the status by selecting the bell icon at the top of the screen. After a few moments, the deployment completes, and it's time to set up the Logic app. Type in Logic app in your search bar and select it from the search results. To create a Logic app, you must select the Add Plus button. Within the Create Logic app screen, select the appropriate subscription and resource group you created. Then designate a name for the Logic app, such as Logic App-Server1. Ensure the chosen name is available. A checkmark sign will confirm the availability of the name you chose. Next, select Workflow for publishing and specify the region. Opt for the standard plan, retaining the default settings for the Windows plan and pricing. Skip zone redundancy for this lab setup. Select the Review plus Create button and review your chosen options and select Create. Recall that the bell icon opens the notifications panel where you can follow the status of the creation. Once the Logic app is created, navigate to its portal via the Go to Resource button. Let's close the notification panel now so that you can view it in full screen. Now let's select Workflows from the left-hand side panel. Create a workflow by selecting the plus Add button at the top left. This opens a window on the right. Name the workflow as Start VM. Under the state type, select the Stateful Radio button and select Create at the bottom. A success pop-up window appears confirming the creation of the workflow. With the workflow listed, you can now select it. This opens up the Designer. Under the Designer section on the left, select Developer. From the middle of the screen, select Add a Trigger, which opens a new window. Start by typing Schedule into the search bar and select it. You want this to be recurring, so select Recurrence to add a trigger. From the Recurrence window under Parameters, change the frequency to daily by selecting Day from the drop-down list. Then select the time zone to locate your current time zone from the drop-down list. Now you need it to run daily at 8 a.m. in that specified time zone. You do this by entering the year, month, and date, then entering a capital T for time, 08:00, another colon, 00 again, and finish with a Z. You can then enter 8 in the At These Hours section and 0 in the At These Minutes section. Below this, you will notice a preview box that shows you runs at 8 every day. Now, once you are happy with it, you can select the plus sign under the recurrence trigger in the middle of the screen. In the new Add an Action window, locate the Azure VM section and select Start a Virtual Machine. You will notice that this action appears in the middle of the screen. In the corresponding window, select Sign In to complete the sign-in process with your Azure credentials. In the Start Virtual Machine window, there are 3 drop-down options. Select each of them to specify the appropriate subscription, resource group, and the virtual machine you just created. Now, at the top left of the screen, select the Save button to save the workflow. So now you have created a workflow that will start that VM at 8 a.m. every morning. A bit later, you'll be able to create another workflow called Stop VM to automate the VM shutdown at 6 p.m. This is a very basic example, but Azure Logic Apps allows for much more complex workflows. You can chain multiple actions together, incorporate conditional logic for branching execution paths, and use hundreds of built-in connectors to integrate with a vast array of services. Azure Logic Apps empowers you to automate tasks, streamline processes, and create powerful integrations within the Azure cloud. You follow the steps involved to create a basic workflow and understand how Azure Logic Apps is capable of much more. With its visual designer and extensive library of connectors, it simplifies workflow creation without the need for extensive coding expertise, making your development easier and more efficient. Congratulations on finishing the next segment of the course. You've acquired a thorough understanding of Azure, exploring its fundamental services and real-world uses. Before progressing further, let's review the key concepts introduced this week. Additionally, take this opportunity to revisit earlier materials to guarantee you're well-equipped for the module quiz ahead. Azure is a powerhouse of services that covers everything from compute to storage to networking. These services form the backbone of cloud computing solutions, offering scalability, flexibility, and reliability. Throughout this week, you witnessed a breakdown of these services that highlighted their key features and functionalities and included visual aids and real-world examples. You discovered that compute services are at the heart of Azure's offerings. From virtual machines to containers, Azure provides a range of options to suit a variety of workloads. You learned how to optimize these services for different scenarios and gained an understanding of the associated costs through the Azure Pricing Calculator. But how do you know which compute service best fits your needs? This week, various real-world scenarios were analyzed to determine the most suitable options based on factors like scalability and cost-effectiveness. You then discovered that high availability is critical in the cloud, and Azure has robust solutions in place to ensure your applications are always up and running. You explored the principles and benefits of designing for high availability, which included using Azure Availability Zones and implementing load balancers. Following this, you discussed Azure Traffic Manager and how it effortlessly scales availability globally by enhancing application performance and responsiveness across various regions. Next, you walked through the steps of how to deploy a sample application using Azure Availability Zones, providing you with practical experience in constructing robust cloud applications. You also explored Azure Service Bus, uncovering its seamless communication capabilities between components. You studied its features and gained insights into how it streamlines application integration through message queues and relays. Managing APIs was then simplified with Azure API Management, which you now know allows you to configure policies and create modern API gateways effortlessly. Additionally, you learned that automation is critical to efficiency, and Azure Logic Apps make this a breeze. A demonstration showed you how to create workflows that streamline business processes and integrate seamlessly with other Azure services. Towards the end of the week, event-driven integration was discussed with Azure Event Grid, which enables you to simplify programming tasks and integrate with Azure services and custom events. Great job! Throughout this week, you engaged in various videos, readings, and activities that covered the essentials of Azure services and explored their practical applications. You have gained valuable insights that will help you navigate the Azure ecosystem confidently. Imagine you are a vital member of an organization on the brink of expanding its Azure infrastructure. As part of your role, you've been entrusted with the critical task of managing resources, ensuring both scalability and security are maintained. However, in such a complex environment, finding a streamlined solution that will optimize resource management and boost operational efficiency can feel like a daunting challenge. That's where the Azure Resource Manager, also known as ARM, comes in. In this video, you'll uncover how ARM revolutionizes deployment, organization, and resource management within Azure, empowering you to channel your efforts towards driving innovation and fostering growth within your company. But what makes ARM stand out from the crowd? ARM is the foundational pillar of resource management within Azure, seamlessly orchestrating deployment, organization, and resource administration. ARM is the Azure Deployment and Management Service. It provides a management layer that enables you to create, update, and delete resources in your Azure account. Management features like access control, locks, and tags secure and organize your resources after deployment. When interfacing with Azure via various APIs, tools, or SDKs, all requests are routed through the Resource Manager. This centralized hub authenticates and authorizes requests before dispatching them to the appropriate Azure service. The uniform handling of requests via a unified API guarantees consistent outcomes and functionalities across different tools. ARM has several terms that are key to its operation. Let's explore some of them now. First up is resource. This is any resource you can use in Azure, like a virtual machine, storage accounts, or a website. It's anything you need to build your project or run your software. Next is the resource group. Imagine organizing tools into different boxes based on their uses. A resource group is like one of those boxes, but for your Azure resources. It helps you keep everything related to your project together and makes it easier to manage. You also have resource providers. Picture different stores where you can get your tools. In Azure, there are services like Microsoft Compute and Microsoft Storage, which will provide you with the resources you need. Declarative syntax specifies the desired outcome or configuration without detailing each step. It expresses the intended state of resources in a concise, human-readable format, much like stating the end goal without explaining how to get there. This abstraction allows systems like Azure to interpret the specifications and autonomously take actions to achieve the defined configuration. Next is the ARM template, which is like a grocery list that tells Azure exactly what resources to create for you in your cloud environment. Azure reads this list and creates those resources for you in your cloud environment. Lastly, there is the bicep file, which is a way to write instructions for creating Azure resources in a more straightforward format that's easier to understand and use, making it quicker to set up your Azure environment. Now let's discuss the benefits that ARM can bring to your organization. First, with ARM, you can define your infrastructure using declarative templates, simplifying and automating the deployment process. Next, ARM enables you to manage and monitor your resources holistically, streamlining operations and improving efficiency. ARM also ensures that resources are deployed consistently across different environments, from development to production, boosting confidence in solution stability. ARM also allows you to specify dependencies between resources, ensuring that they are deployed in the correct order to avoid any deployment errors. Next, ARM leverages Azure Role-Based Access Control, or RBAC, to control access to resources, ensuring security and compliance. Lastly, ARM enables you to tag resources for logical organization, simplifying billing and management tasks. With ARM, you unlock a wealth of benefits that streamline the deployment, management, and monitoring of your Azure resources, ultimately enhancing your operational efficiency and solution stability. As demonstrated, ARM is pivotal for efficient resource management in Azure. It offers benefits like streamlined deployment, robust access control, and logical organization. Whether you're in development, production, or between stages, ARM guides you through Azure's complexities, unlocking your resources' full potential with confidence. Behind every successful cloud application lies a strong foundation. In this video, you'll discover how companies are leveraging Azure Resource Manager, or ARM templates, to build, manage, and automate their cloud infrastructure on Azure. As you know by now, ARM templates are like blueprints for your cloud resources. They define the infrastructure components like virtual machines, databases, and storage, all in a single reusable file. Let's explore how different organizations are using ARM templates to solve their unique challenges. Online shopping has become a massive part of modern society, leading to a substantial surge in website traffic and necessitating round-the-clock availability. However, achieving such seamless performance poses a significant challenge. So, how do companies achieve such seamless performance? This is where ARM templates, Azure App Service, SQL Database, Storage, and Traffic Manager come in. These tools form the backbone of a company's infrastructure, ensuring a shopping experience devoid of interruptions or glitches. But it's not just about launching a web app. An organization entrenched in software development knows the value of reliability. For them, each iteration needs meticulous testing and refining. But how do they maintain consistency? Through the power of ARM templates, Azure virtual machines, SQL databases, and app services orchestrating seamlessly with Azure DevOps. Customizable parameters and rapid provisioning ensure that every testing environment mirrors the latest changes, reducing the likelihood of bugs creeping into production. What about a global corporation that caters to a diverse user base worldwide? Their priority is low latency access and uninterrupted service. But how do they accomplish this? They can effortlessly be deployed across multiple Azure regions by harnessing the might of ARM templates, app services, SQL databases, and Traffic Manager. Parameters pinpoint target regions, while Traffic Manager optimizes the user experience. Real-time insights from Azure Monitor enable proactive troubleshooting, ensuring service remains uninterrupted. Agility is critical for a tech startup. Their dynamic development environment demands an automated solution for infrastructure changes. But how do they keep up with the pace of innovation? By using ARM templates and Azure automation, they establish the desired state, guaranteeing adherence to compliance and security protocols. Azure Policy enforces governance standards, while Azure Monitor conducts real-time evaluations and adjustments, seamlessly upholding security and compliance measures. A software as a service, or SaaS provider, delivers a comprehensive array of interconnected services, demanding a scalable and easily controlled infrastructure to support its operations efficiently. You might ask, how do they meet the demands of their growing user base? ARM templates define services individually and are orchestrated by Azure Resource Manager. Comprehensive monitoring and alerting from Azure Monitor ensure high availability, while Defender for Cloud proactively detects and mitigates threats, keeping their environment secure. In a highly regulated industry like healthcare, compliance is non-negotiable. Healthcare providers rely on standardized resource configurations across their Azure environment to uphold industry regulations. But how do they navigate this complex landscape? ARM templates enforce standards, with Azure Policy ensuring adherence during deployment. Continuous monitoring and threat detection by Defender for Cloud safeguards sensitive healthcare data, ensuring confidentiality and integrity. But what about manufacturing? Imagine a manufacturing firm that has successfully deployed a critical manufacturing system that relies on the robust Azure infrastructure. How would they mitigate the risk of downtime and data loss? With Azure Site Recovery and ARM templates, they can ensure high availability and data redundancy. In the event of a disaster, seamless failover and recovery are orchestrated through ARM templates. Azure Backup provides the regular protection and restoration of critical data, effectively reducing downtime and mitigating data loss risks. In summary, ARM templates are foundational blueprints that organizations use to construct, manage, and automate cloud infrastructure on Microsoft Azure. Through various scenarios, you've explored how ARM templates can empower organizations across different industries to tackle unique challenges and streamline cloud operations. Welcome to an introduction to Azure Policy. Before unpacking what Azure Policy is all about, let's take a moment to consider the following scenario. You're an IT manager for a software company experiencing a rapid growth spurt. One of your main challenges at such a time is maintaining compliance and security within the business's Azure cloud infrastructure. Various departments are deploying new resources, and this poses a threat to the company's consistency in trying to adhere to complex policies. You need a tool to assist you in defining and enforcing compliance policies and achieving governance. In this video, you'll learn what Azure Policy is, its functions, and how it helps enforce organizational standards, assessing compliance at scale. Azure Policy is your go-to tool for enforcing policies, often complex when scaling, to achieve compliance. At its core, it provides a centralized compliance dashboard, offering an aggregated view to evaluate the overall state of your environment. This dashboard allows you to drill down to per resource, per policy granularity. But how does Azure Policy achieve this? Let's break it down and start with policy definitions. Azure Policy evaluates resources and actions by comparing their properties to business rules, known as policy definitions. These policy definitions, described in JSON format, contain conditions under which they're enforced and the efforts to take when conditions are met. These policy definitions are then assigned to specific scopes within your Azure environment, such as management groups, subscriptions, resource groups, or individual resources. The assignments are inherited by all child resources within the scope, ensuring consistent enforcement. Now, let's explore some key functions and features of Azure Policy. With Azure Policy, you can enforce policies to restrict resource deployment to allow regions, ensure consistent tagging across resources, or mandate sending diagnostic logs to a log analytics workspace. But what happens when resources fall out of compliance? Azure Policy covers you with remediation options. While effects primarily impact resources upon creation or update, Azure Policy supports the remediation of existing non-compliant resources without altering them directly. This feature streamlines the compliance journey, ensuring your environment aligns with the organizational standards. Azure Policy's reach extends beyond Azure itself. With Azure Arc, you can extend policy-based governance to resources across cloud providers and your local data centers. This seamless integration ensures consistent policy enforcement regardless of where your resources reside, providing unified governance across your entire infrastructure. Now let's differentiate Azure Policy from Azure Role-Based Access Control, or Azure RBAC for short. Azure Role-Based Access Control focuses on managing user actions at different scopes. Azure Policy evaluates resource states based on defined business rules without concern for who made the change. This clear distinction ensures comprehensive control over both resource access and compliance. Next are policy parameters and their role in simplifying policy management. Policy parameters allow you to create more generic policy definitions. This reduces redundancy and enables reuse across different scenarios. By defining parameters during policy creation, you can tailor policy enforcement to specific requirements when assigning them. Innovative definitions take policy management a step further. Innovative definitions simplify policy management and assignment by grouping multiple policy definitions under a single overarching goal. This streamlined approach ensures cohesive governance aligned with organizational objectives. Finally, let's discuss policy assignments and their impact on resource governance. Assignments determine where policy definitions or initiatives are enforced within your Azure environment. They are scoped to management groups, subscriptions, resource groups, or individual resources, ensuring precise control over policy enforcement. With a brief introduction to policy definitions, let's take a moment to examine their structure. Azure policy definitions serve as the backbone for enforcing compliance conditions and specifying the actions to be taken when these conditions are met. They enable organizations to set and maintain standards across their Azure resources seamlessly. Some essential elements of a policy definition are quite useful to get to know. Firstly, each policy definition comprises a display name and description. The display name provides a clear identifier for the policy, while the description offers contextual information about its purpose and usage. Regarding the policy type, Azure provides built-in policy definitions, but organizations can also create custom policies tailored to their specific requirements. Next is the mode. The mode determines which resource types are evaluated for a policy definition, offering flexibility in targeting specific resources within your Azure environment. Metadata is an optional property that stores additional information about the policy definition, aiding its management and organization within the Azure portal. Then, parameters play a crucial role in simplifying policy management. They allow for the customization of policy enforcement by enabling the reuse of policy definitions across different scenarios with varying values. Conditions and logical evaluations form the core of policy definitions, determining when the policy is enforced based on specified criteria and logical operators. Lastly, there is the effect. This defines the action to be taken when the conditions specified in the policy are met, such as audit, deny, or modify. Additional logic must be applied to policy rules to achieve organizational efficiency and enforce sophisticated governance policies. This is accomplished through what is known as policy functions. Some common policy functions include retrieving resource properties, manipulating values, and performing conditional evaluations, offering a comprehensive toolkit for policy enforcement. In summary, Azure Policy is a vital tool for enforcing organizational standards and compliance in Azure environments. By utilizing policy definitions and assignments, organizations can ensure consistent enforcement of rules and regulations across their resources. Key features such as remediation options, Azure Arc integration, and distinguishing from Azure role-based access control provide comprehensive governance capabilities. You also learned about policy parameters, initiative definitions, and policy functions that enhance policy management and enforcement, enabling organizations to maintain standards effectively. With its ability to streamline compliance processes and provide unified governance, Azure Policy facilitates maintaining a secure and well-managed Azure environment. Azure Policy helps you enforce and maintain compliance across your Azure environment. In this video, you will navigate assigning policy definitions and implementing custom policies to ensure your Azure resources meet your organization's compliance standards. Let's dive in. First, let's start by assigning a policy definition. This crucial step defines the conditions under which a policy is enforced and the actions to be taken. Through this example, you'll discover how to assign the built-in policy definition called Inherit a tag from the resource group if missing to ensure that specified tags are added to new or updated resources. Follow along and navigate the Azure portal to assign policies and set up enforcement parameters. Let's begin in the Azure portal. Head to the top search bar to type in Policy. Once you locate it under the Services drop-down list, select it. On the menu on the left is an Authoring section with Assignments under it. Select Assignments. Here you can connect a policy to a specific area of your Azure resources. Select Assign Policy at the top. In order to assign the policy, you need to choose where the policy applies. Therefore, select the ellipses or the three dots next to Scope and select your subscription. You can also choose a resource group for more granular control, followed by pressing the Select button. For this example, Policy-RG is the selected resource group. Now, let's find the policy that adds the missing tags. Select the ellipses next to Policy Definition. A new window opens on the right labeled Available Definitions. Next to the search bar is a drop-down option called Type. Select it and filter the list to Built-in by selecting the corresponding checkbox. The rest must be unselected. Now in the search bar, type in Inherit a Tag and select the policy called Inherit a Tag from the resource group if missing from the results. Then select the Add button below. The assignment name is already filled with the policy name, but feel free to change it for better organization. You can also add a description to explain what this policy assignment does. For now, leave Policy Enforcement toggled to Enabled. This allows the policy to do its job. You'll cover the disabled option later with testing. Navigate to the Parameters tab to specify the tag name. Type ENV, which is short for Environment, as the tag name in this case. The Remediation tab can be skipped for now. Instead, select the Non-Compliance Messages tab. In the Non-Compliance Message field, you can type in, "This resource doesn't have the required tag." This sets a custom message for users if a resource is missing the tag. The final step in assigning a policy is to select the Review and Create button. Double-check that everything looks good, and then select the Create button at the bottom to activate the policy assignment. Congratulations! You've just assigned your first Azure policy to enforce compliance on your resources. So, built-in policies enforce policies and adhere to compliance. It is a great starting point. But what if your organization has specific needs or requires more granular control? The solution to this is what's known as custom policies. So let's create a custom policy using initiative definitions. Think of an initiative definition like a folder for related policies. It groups them under a single goal, making compliance management easier. You will build and assign an initiative to keep your Azure resources nice and secure. First, let's create an initiative definition. Navigate to Azure Policy and select Definitions under the Authoring section. Select the plus Initiative Definition button at the top to start the wizard. Choose a location similar to your subscription to store the definition. To do so, select the ellipsis next to the initiative location. Give your initiative a clear name and description. For example, name it Get Secure and describe it as handling security-related policies. Pick an existing category or create a new one for the organization. In this example, a new category is created and named SecOps. Note that you can set a version number, such as version 1, without affecting policy updates. Now select the Next button or the Policies tab. The next step is to add the policy definition. Select Add Policy Definitions. This opens a new window on the right to browse the list. In the search bar, type the keywords of the policies and check the corresponding checkbox from the results. Select the Add button after choosing each policy. Adding the tag policy twice lets you set different tags. For Get Secure, choose Allowed Locations and Endpoint Protection for Machines. Then, select the Add or Replace a Tag on the resource policy twice to set different tags. Select Next a few times to reach the Policy Parameters tab. Here, you can set values for policy parameters within the initiative. Set the allowed locations value to East US 2 using the dropdown. For the two entries called add or replace a tag on resources, set the tag name to ENV and cost center. Ensure that the tag value for both entries is set to test for the one and lab for the other. Review everything, then select the Create button at the bottom. Now, to begin assigning the initiative, go back to Definitions. Now search and select the Get Secure initiative. Select Assign Initiative at the top to open the assignment page. Choose the scope where you want the initiative to apply, such as the subscription or resource group. Leave exclusions blank for now. The assignment name should default to Get Secure. Next is to add a description explaining the purpose. Now, leave Policy Enforcement as enabled and select the Parameters tab to check if there are parameters to set. In this case, there are none. Once again, leave Remediation unchecked for now and review everything. Then select Create at the bottom. The final step in implementing a custom policy is to check the compliance. Therefore, select Compliance on the left-hand side of Azure Policy. Find your listed Get Secure initiative and select it. Note that the compliance state may show Not Started Yet. Then, select the initiative for details. Once the assignment is complete, it should be indicated as compliant. You can drill down into each policy within the initiative to view the resource level compliance details. Well done. You have successfully created and assigned a custom policy using an initiative definition. This helps keep your Azure resources secure by enforcing those grouped policies. Ensuring compliance with Azure policy is essential for maintaining the security and integrity of your cloud environment. Now you can effectively enforce policies and custom initiatives to meet your organization's compliance requirements. The role of an IT professional has undergone significant changes in recent years. Now, IT professionals are a linchpin in upholding the stability, efficiency, and security of organizations' Azure infrastructure. Imagine working as an IT professional within a growing tech company, tasked with overseeing its rapidly expanding Azure infrastructure. Navigating this intricate environment with its diverse applications and variety of components can pose a formidable challenge. Enter Azure Monitor, which acts as your ally throughout this role, arming you with a comprehensive array of monitoring tools. Azure Monitor acts as your bodyguard, constantly assessing the system's health and performance. Let's explore the intricacies of Azure Monitor and give you insight into its fundamental components, architectural framework, and practical applications. This exploration will equip you with the knowledge and skills to manage and optimize your Azure environment proficiently, ensuring its seamless operation amidst the ever-evolving tech landscape. Let's start with understanding how Azure Monitor acts as your ally in this endeavor. Equipped with a suite of monitoring tools, Azure Monitor acts as your third eye, continuously overseeing the well-being of the system through a suite of monitoring tools that monitor all your Azure assets and applications. It collects and aggregates data from every layer and component of your system across multiple Azure and non-Azure subscriptions and tenants, then stores the data in a common data platform for consumption by a standard set of tools that correlates, analyzes, visualizes, and responds to the data. Azure Monitor can even integrate other Microsoft and non-Microsoft tools. Azure Monitor benefits businesses by ensuring availability. It monitors applications, ensuring they're always operational and accessible to users. Optimizing performance. With Azure Monitor, companies can identify any performance bottlenecks slowing down their applications, allowing them to take corrective measures and ensure smooth operation. Controlling costs. By understanding how resources are being used, companies can optimize their usage and potentially save on cloud expenses. And enhancing security. Azure Monitor helps companies detect and respond to any suspicious activity within their applications, keeping their data and infrastructure safe. Now, let's explore the interconnected core components that Azure Monitor seamlessly operates with. At its core, Azure Monitor collects data through two main channels, metrics and logs. Firstly, metrics are numerical values representing the health of resources, much like a temperature gauge indicating system load. For example, high CPU usage might suggest potential overload. And logs. Azure Monitor captures detailed records of application and resource activity, including errors, security events, and other valuable details. To effectively manage and analyze this data, Azure Monitor uses log analytics workspaces. These workspaces serve as centralized hubs for log data, enabling in-depth analysis and reporting. Once data is collected, Azure Monitor employs powerful tools for analysis and gaining insights. Firstly, Azure Portal serves as the central command center where companies can visualize metrics through charts and graphs, making it easy to spot trends and potential issues. Next, alerts. Azure Monitor allows for the creation of automated alert notifications that specific events can trigger. For instance, you can set up an alert to notify you if your CPU is reaching a critical threshold on a virtual machine. And Azure Monitor also equips users with the Kusto Query Language, or KQL, a robust tool for advanced log analysis. This potent language facilitates meticulous filtering and examination of log data, unveiling obscured patterns and insights. Azure Monitor architecture can be understood through this diagram. Data sources symbolize the resources under the watchful eye of Azure Monitor, channeling their information to a centralized data platform. The data platform stores the collected data, which includes metrics, logs, traces, and challenges. It includes options for both Azure Monitor and System Center Operations Manager. Then, components like visualization tools and analysis methods use data from the data platform to provide insights and aid in decision-making. Azure Monitor also offers interoperability options, such as integration with Power BI for data visualization, although you should note that some services may have limited integration capabilities. Another capability of Azure Monitor is the variety of resources it can monitor within Azure. These include applications, virtual machines, guest operating systems, containers, including Prometheus metrics, databases, security events in combination with Microsoft Sentinel, networking events, and health in combination with Network Watcher and custom sources that use APIs to get data into Azure Monitor. Azure Monitor offers several uses for gathering and analyzing data in a business's daily operations. Let's explore some of these functionalities now, beginning with data collection. By incorporating the Insights SDK into their applications, companies can gain comprehensive insights into their application's performance. This integration enables Azure Monitor to gather detailed metrics and logs tailored to the application's specific behavior. Additionally, Azure Monitor can collect logs from the virtual machines hosting the application, providing valuable information about system activity. Finally, companies can monitor key resource metrics like CPU usage for their virtual machines and databases, ensuring they have sufficient resources to handle the load. But what about analysis and alerting? With all the data collected, companies can now configure alerts for critical events. For example, an alert could be triggered if CPU usage on a VM hosting the e-commerce application reaches a high threshold, indicating potential performance issues. Companies can also create insightful dashboards in the Azure portal. This dashboard can be a central location where they can visualize critical metrics like application response times, database health, and resource utilization, giving them a holistic view of the entire system's health. Regardless of the type of application or infrastructure you deploy on Azure, Azure Monitor is ready to be your reliable ally. It empowers you to glean invaluable insights into your system's health and performance, proactively detect and address potential issues, and maintain the seamless operation of your applications at all times. You previously imagined working for a busy organization that has a complex mix of servers, applications, and networks. As you now understand, navigating this type of technical complexity is no easy task, underscoring the critical importance of a dependable monitoring solution. Azure Monitor has become the crucial tool that can meet this challenge by monitoring and managing all your organizational needs, offering both scalability and resilience across different environments. In this video, you'll explore how Azure Monitor ensures the reliability, security, and performance of IT infrastructures. Let's start by revisiting our earlier architecture and examining the design factors driving its efficiency. Firstly, the earlier architecture demonstrated how the distribution of log analytics workspaces is a pivotal strategy. By strategically allocating workspaces across geographical regions or organizational units, organizations can optimize performance, enhance resilience, and align with organizational hierarchies. Additionally, the architecture emphasized the holistic monitoring of workloads and underlying infrastructure. This comprehensive perspective enables organizations to detect anomalies, optimize performance, and proactively bolster security posture. Other crucial factors are cost optimization and chargeback mechanisms. By attributing costs to respective teams or departments based on resource usage, organizations foster accountability, optimize resource utilization, and drive cost efficiencies. Furthermore, robust data visualization and archiving strategies are critical. Visualizations serve as an essential insight for actionable insights, while archival mechanisms facilitate long-term retention of historical data, catering to compliance requirements and enabling retrospective analysis. You can also create custom dashboards with Monitor that can be tailored to distinct use cases. This ensures stakeholders have all the essential and required insights. This democratization of data empowers stakeholders with actionable intelligence, driving informed decision-making and strategic initiatives. Additionally, this architecture harbors the potential to cater to various use cases, spanning from consolidated monitoring to specialized monitoring, encompassing containerized environments, Azure SQL databases, and Azure Virtual Desktop instances. However, latency is a crucial consideration for this design. The latency between data creation and its availability for analysis in Monitor can impact operational efficiency and decision-making. Various factors, including agent time, pipeline time, and indexing time, contribute to latency. Cost optimization is also integral to effective monitoring. Azure Monitor is built by data ingestion, retention, export, and additional factors such as alerts and notifications. There are several additional considerations that you should consider before deploying and managing your Azure Monitor solution. These include: enable Monitor solutions gradually to minimize the impact on the environment and cost. Incremental deployment allows for controlled scaling and mitigates potential disruptions. Also, it's imperative to reference Azure service limits across all architectural components to ensure compliance and preempt any unforeseen limitations that might hinder operations. Next, set alerts on cost limits to manage expenses proactively. Adding new solutions can exponentially increase data collection, leading to cost escalations if not monitored closely. Use tagging across all resource groups and resources to facilitate cost analysis and resource management. Automate workspace deployment through ARM templates, infrastructure as code, or IaaS, for consistency and reproducibility. This approach streamlines provisioning and ensures uniform configurations across environments. You should also create workspaces in the same region as running workloads to minimize ingestion latency and optimize performance. For on-premises machines without internet connectivity, leverage Azure Arc over Log Analytics Gateway for seamless data ingestion. Spread alerts across resource groups to avoid hitting subscription limits and ensure efficient alert management. Next, create a separate resource group for each workspace to enhance security and facilitate the practical application of role-based access control, or RBAC rules. You should also apply RBAC to user accounts and other objects for log analytics workspace access. This ensures appropriate access control and governance. Additionally, you should ensure you leverage Microsoft Sentinel to identify security-related logs. This will enhance threat detection and incident response capabilities. Next, use Application Insights analytics tools to diagnose issues and understand application usage. This facilitates troubleshooting and optimization. By harnessing log analytics workspace insights to monitor and set alerts, you can stay up to date on critical measures such as ingestion latency, data ingestion volume, ingestion anomalies, and agent health. You should also use the Azure Monitor agent to fine-tune data collection, optimize resource utilization, and ensure accurate telemetry data. And finally, by integrating with data lake services, you can manage data retention and access efficiently. In conclusion, Azure Monitor has become the go-to solution for organizations committed to upholding the reliability, security, and performance of their IT infrastructure. Equipped with a deep comprehension of its architecture, components, and sophisticated monitoring methodologies, you, as an IT professional, possess the tools to leverage its capabilities effectively. Azure Monitor enables you to navigate your IT infrastructure with confidence and efficiency, from proactively detecting anomalies to optimizing performance and enhancing security posture. Congratulations on finishing another part of this course. You gained a comprehensive understanding of Azure Resource Manager, or ARM, templates. Now you know how Azure Policy enforces standards, while Azure Monitor is used for proactive resource monitoring and optimization in the Azure ecosystem. But before moving forward, let's recap the key concepts you covered and reinforce your knowledge for the upcoming module quiz. You began by exploring the role of ARM in streamlining resource management and deployment. You mastered key components like ARM templates and resource groups, learning about their benefits such as simplified deployment and consistent management across environments. Understanding scope levels and resource group dynamics is essential for efficient Azure resource management. Next, you leveraged examples from ARM documentation to explore how ARM templates are used for deploying Azure resources. You also studied a detailed exploration of template authoring, functions, and deployment processes, which equipped you with the skills to create efficient and reusable templates. You discovered how advanced techniques like parameterization and conditionals are employed for multi-tier application deployment. Following this, you learned how to leverage ARM templates for building, managing, and automating cloud infrastructure on Azure, effectively addressing diverse organizational needs and challenges. You were then introduced to creating Azure policies aimed at enforcing organizational standards and compliance within the Azure environment. Here, you covered the basic structure of policies and their practical application in governing Azure resources. You then learned how to troubleshoot Azure policy issues by studying its core concepts, policy definitions, and implementation procedures. Following this, you tackled the creation of scalable Azure policies for complex scenarios, which emphasized large-scale implementation. You also explored advanced aspects like policy initiatives, custom definitions, and strategies for enforcing policies in extensive Azure environments. You were also provided with a comprehensive comparison of three critical Azure governance services: Role-Based Access Control, or RBAC, Azure Policy, and Azure Blueprints. These services can guide you to effective decision-making in governance practices. Additionally, you examined a monitoring plan for an application using Azure Monitor, which highlighted its role in the comprehensive monitoring of Azure resources and applications. You covered its basic concepts, key components, and the types of data collected. In advanced monitoring scenarios, you learned about custom logging, creating alerts, and leveraging insights for proactive troubleshooting with Azure Monitor. Towards the end, you created a monitoring plan for a sample application, applying your knowledge of Azure Monitor tools to ensure optimal performance on the Azure platform. Great job! You've gained such valuable insights into essential Azure services and their practical applications. By engaging with this content, you've continued to enhance your Azure skills and gained the knowledge necessary to navigate the Azure ecosystem effectively. Keep up the excellent work. Congratulations! By watching this video, you've successfully completed the content section of our course on the fundamentals of cloud computing. This course aimed to improve your knowledge of the key components of cloud computing. You've now gained knowledge of Azure's various services and management tools and discovered how to optimize Azure using Azure Resource Manager templates, Azure Policy, and Azure Monitor. You should now have a solid understanding of the basics and benefits of cloud computing, be able to describe various cloud computing models and their applications, describe core Azure services, their features and applications, and be able to implement comprehensive monitoring with Azure Monitor. Let's recap what you've covered to ensure you're fully prepared to implement these skills in the upcoming course project and final assessment. You began the course by understanding the practical implications of cloud computing. Then, you were presented with a brief history that highlighted key moments shaping cloud technology's evolution. This overview covered essential concepts such as virtualization, elasticity, and on-demand self-service, making foundational aspects of cloud computing accessible and informative. You then studied cloud computing's fundamental concepts, terminology, and principles, exploring the impact it has on traditional IT infrastructures. Real-world examples from diverse industries demonstrated this impact by emphasizing its efficiency, scalability, and flexibility. Additionally, you explored the potential challenges of implementing cloud solutions and the factors necessary for successful integration and optimization. As you progressed, you explored current trends and innovations in cloud computing, which underscored the importance of staying up to date on emerging technologies. Several advantages of cloud computing were highlighted, including cost savings through resource optimization and pay-as-you-go models. Real-world examples demonstrated how organizations adapt their infrastructure to handle changing workloads. Additionally, you analyzed the economic benefits and practical implications of cloud computing for businesses. Following this, you explored security challenges in cloud computing, which demonstrated the importance of data protection through encryption techniques and access controls. Next, you covered regulatory requirements for data stored in the cloud and how cloud providers are ensuring compliance. You also learned about the three main cloud service models: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. This analysis of their distinctive features and use cases provided insights into how these models address specific business needs. Next, you focused on the cloud deployment models: public, private, hybrid, and multi-cloud. You discovered how to select suitable deployment models based on organizational needs and gained knowledge of each option's characteristics. Azure's extensive range of services, which covered compute, storage, and networking, was then explored. You learned about virtual machines and containers and optimized these services for different scenarios, and you gained an understanding of associated costs through the Azure Pricing Calculator. Following this, you explored high availability, or HA, in the cloud and discovered how Azure's robust solutions ensure applications remain operational. You explored the principles and benefits of designing for HA using Azure Availability Zones and load balancers, and learned how Azure Traffic Manager is enhancing application performance globally. You gained practical knowledge by deploying a sample application using Azure Availability Zones and explored Azure Service Bus, which offers seamless communication between components and Azure API management. Automation with Azure Logic Apps and event-driven integration with Azure Event Grid was also covered before you undertook a study of Azure Resource Manager, or ARM, templates. You also discovered how Azure Policy enforces standards and Azure Monitor provides proactive resource monitoring. Additionally, pivotal elements of ARM, such as templates and resource groups, showcased effective resource management and deployment practices. Next, you discovered how to create Azure policies for enforcing organizational standards and compliance, troubleshooting policy issues, and implementing large-scale policies. The final part of the course allowed you to create a monitoring plan for an application using Azure Monitor, allowing you to apply your knowledge of its tools to ensure optimal performance on the Azure platform. That concludes our recap video. In the final part of the course, you'll undertake a project to design an ARM template, incorporating best practices in ARM template authoring, Azure policy implementation, and Azure Monitor configuration. This course has equipped you with a solid understanding of the fundamentals of cloud computing, preparing you to apply these skills in your final project and graded assessment. If you need a refresher on anything covered in the course, feel free to revisit any of the topics. Good luck. Congratulations on reaching the end of Cloud Computing Essentials. By completing this course, you have developed a solid understanding of cloud computing, discovering its key concepts, Azure services, and management tools. You also discovered automated deployment, governance, and resource optimization within the Azure ecosystem. You are now well prepared to start using Azure Resource Manager templates, Azure Policy, and Azure Monitor. Through a mix of videos, readings, and activities, you've gained a solid foundation in the benefits and basics of cloud computing, the various cloud computing models and their applications, Azure services, their features and applications, the advanced features and capabilities of Azure services, and learned how to implement comprehensive monitoring with Azure Monitor. Most importantly, you completed the final course project by designing an ARM template for resource deployment. Well done on taking the first steps towards your future career. Remember, by successfully completing all the courses in this program, you'll earn a Coursera certification. This program will enhance and deepen your IT professional skills. This globally recognized certification significantly boosts your credibility and appeal to prospective employers. Additionally, it showcases your dedication to ongoing learning and career growth. Completing the program also serves as an essential stepping stone in your preparation for the Microsoft Certified Exam AZ900, Microsoft Azure Fundamentals. Passing this exam earns you a certification that provides industry-endorsed evidence of your skills, further enhancing your employability and career prospects. This AZ900 Microsoft Azure Fundamentals exam demonstrates your knowledge of Azure components and services, including compute, network, and storage. It will also test your knowledge of key skills, including cloud concepts, Azure architecture and services, and Azure management and governance. In summary, this course has enhanced your knowledge and skills in key aspects of cloud computing. However, you might wonder what lies ahead. There's still more to discover, making it wise to enroll in the next course. In the upcoming course, several crucial aspects of cloud computing, including the nuances of Azure Compute, will be explored further. This course will encompass a comprehensive study of virtual machines, app services, and Azure Kubernetes Service, or AKS, offering you a robust understanding of these fundamental components. Furthermore, the course will allow you to describe Azure networking, including virtual networks, load balancing, and routes, applying robust solutions to deploy and manage virtual machines, apply best practices for securing virtual networks and machines, and use key Azure networking features, including virtual networks, load balancing, NSGs, and Azure Sentinel, for enhanced management and security of Azure resources. Upon finishing this course, you'll arm yourself with the expertise needed to implement cloud computing using a multitude of Azure services. The skills you've acquired thus far demonstrate your drive, competence, and eagerness to embrace new challenges to prospective employers, and you should take pride in your progress. Wishing you continued success as you continue on your educational path.